Mike's on now. Burnley this afternoon. Shall I start that again? Welcome to KUMBTV. Eyes up, Mother Brown. West Ham United taking a trip to Burnley. Sorry, I'm running late. It's all a bit ramshackle this afternoon, but we'll get there. Hopefully, I'll be joined by the rest of the crew in due course. Turf Moor, Burnley, 3 points. Who knows? We'll find out very soon. The Hammers looking to achieve back-to-back wins in the Premier League following our most recent outing against Chelsea, in which, of course, we beat the then Premier League leaders by 3-2. Of course, we've played in the Europa League since when David Moyes rang the changes and put all the kids out and lost 1-0. Pretty boring game. Really not a lot to talk about in that one, but we're hoping for a bit more excitement this afternoon from Turf Moor. Anyway, good afternoon to those of you joining us on the live stream. I'm just going to post this link round to a couple of places so people know we're on air because we didn't make the announcement until very late. Well, actually about 5 minutes ago, to be fair. But let me just post this link and I'll be right back with you. As I said, we're hoping that Gnome and the Pink Palermo will be joining us at some point this afternoon. Not many links about for this one. None of the major broadcasters carrying it, so we're all busily trying to find a stream before the game starts that we can bring you the action on. Anyway, hope everybody's well. Hope you had a good weekend so far. Let's hope that the Hammers can top it off with 3 points this afternoon. As we said, Burnley really struggling in the league this season. Only 10 points so far in the league, and as I said, I'm not sure if you called it before I cut off or before I turned the mic on, but beaten by Newcastle last week. The Mags' first win in the Premier League this season, winning 1-0. Burnley looking pretty desperate up there and needing 3 points themselves today. But anyway, looks like West Ham are going to be going all out to win again. We'll go through the teams very shortly. I'll just add this link. I do apologise. I'd normally be doing this in the background while Noam is taking you through the teams, but of course, I'm still waiting for the chaps to join us. So hopefully they'll be along very, very shortly. I'm just going to add this link on social media. Let me know your score predictions if you're joining us on the live stream. Let me know what you think is going to happen at Turf Moor this afternoon. Whether you fancy the Hammers are going to take another 3 points, or whether you think we might just come unstuck there this afternoon. It's been a funny ground for us over the years, isn't it? We've done all right, but of course, I'm sure we'll talk about this with the chaps when they turn up. Of course, one of the most abiding memories of our trips to the Northwest and to Turf Moor came when Roberto was famously in goal and made all the blunders. But hopefully not going to be the case today. We have a far more capable goalkeeper in the team this afternoon in Lucas Fabianski. At least I believe we've got Lucas Fabianski in goal. I've not even seen the teams yet. As I said, I'm really running behind schedule. We're going to take a look at those now anyway and go through the starting 11s for both teams. We're about 6 minutes away from kickoff right now. But West Ham starting as follows. Lucas Fabianski is in goal. I'm delighted to tell you that, yes, he is starting in goal. Vladimir Soufal back in at right back. Arthur Masuaku drafted in at left back in the absence of Aaron Cresswell, who misses out again, which is quite interesting because David Moyes said before the Chelsea game he was already back in training. And this is, the third game, if you include the Europa League tie against Zagreb, the third game in a row that he's missed out on. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. It's worse than predicted, that injury. But of course, unexpectedly, the two at the centre of defence this afternoon are Craig Dawson and Issa Diop in the absence of Angelo Ogbonna and Kurt Zuma. No surprise to see those guys in there. And in midfield, Declan Rice, Thomas Souček, the three in front, Manuel Lanzini, Jared Bowen, and Said Benrahma holding on to his place, which is bit of a surprise after his last couple of performances, but Michail Antonio, of course, taking the sole strikers slot to give us our starting 11. On the bench, we have a bit of a mix of experience and youth. Alphonse Areola, who played on Thursday night against Zagreb, pretty much been our cup goalkeeper, hasn't he, this year? On the bench, Elise and Jamal Baptiste, who formed a centre-back partnership against Dinamo on Thursday night, both on the bench, as is Harrison Ashby, who played at right back. Had a really good first half against the Croatians. Alex Kroll, another who played, will be on the bench alongside Mark Noble. And Pablo Fornal was dropped this afternoon. Interesting one. Interesting. Maybe we'll try and get to the bottom of that one as we go through the afternoon. Niko Vlasic and Andrei Yarmolenko completing West Ham's bench this afternoon, 5 minutes away from kickoff. If you can't find a stream, do stick with us because we'll do our best to bring you all the action live from Turf Moor this afternoon. Let's have a look at the Burnley team that West Ham will be facing. And of course, the big news as far as Burnley are concerned, and West Ham really, because he's been absolutely fantastic since moving from France for £12 million in the summer. Maxwell Cornet is missing this afternoon. Substituted against Newcastle last weekend with a thigh issue. Sean Dyche said on Friday that he's not really fit enough to play and didn't want to risk him and perhaps, chance exacerbating that injury. So he's missing today. The Burnley lineup as follows: Pope in goal, Lowton, Tarkowski, West Ham target, Tarkowski, and Taylor at the back. In midfield, we've got Goodmanson, Cork, Westwood, McNeil, and then Wood and Rodriguez playing in those advanced roles for Burnley. Their subs today: Hennessy, Thomas, Brownhill, Collins, Barnsley, Peters, Vidra, Long, and Lennon. They are your two sides this afternoon. Having seen the lineups, let us know what you think. Do you fancy West Ham today? Think we can go and pull off a result there at Burnley? As I say, let's have your predictions, your score predictions in the live chat. If you're tuning in on YouTube right now, hello to everybody out there. Very quiet this afternoon. Hope you're all well. Hope you had a good weekend. Did you go out last night? Dirty Rotters? Yeah, I'm sure you did. Nursing hangovers, maybe? Terrible. Hi, Andy. Good to see you on the stream. Andy, first up this afternoon. I'm just looking over again. I do apologise if it's all a bit bitty this afternoon, but I'm just waiting for Gnome and the Pink Palermo to join me. As I said, of course, a lot of these tasks I'm doing while I'm talking to you, I'd be doing in the background while they'd be talking. But having to do everything at the moment, it's screens there, and screen up there, and having to talk to you guys at the same time. It's all good fun anyway. All good fun, all good practice. Gnome's, I've got a message from Gnome. Is he in? All right, Gnome's telling me he's just got through the front door, so he'll be with us very shortly. So that's good. Not heard from Pinky yet. Pinky, I believe, is going to be joining us from the pub this afternoon with Fat Tony and some of the gang. So that should be interesting. Bear with me just a second because I've just got to check this stream, make sure it works. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it looks like we're good. So we will be able to bring you live updates at least this afternoon as we have managed to secure our stream. Good luck if you're looking for one. I'm sure there's plenty out there. I've not looked at the KUMB forum this afternoon. I've been out and I've just got home about 15 minutes before we came on air. So it's all a bit of a rush this afternoon. Are there links? Let's have a look. Has someone posted links for today? Yes, if you go to the streaming thread on the KUMB.com general discussion forum, there are a few streams there. I can't speak for their veracity or whether they work or not, but you can give them a try if you're desperately seeking a stream and don't want to sit and listen to us banging on all afternoon, exclusively at least anyway. Burnley, Chris Wood, I suppose he's our big threat, isn't he? He's the player that, has done really well against us in the past, constantly a thorn in our side. But Michael Antonio, of course, just as much for them. And we'll be looking to perhaps repeat what we did up there last year, when we went out there and got a very valuable win. But let's have a look. What have we got here? CD. Hi, CD. 2-1 West Ham win. Andy. Always first, Andy. 2-0, says Andy to us. Andy, I've just mentioned the stream. Steve Palmer will win. Don't worry, I'm off out now. All right. Thanks for joining us, Steve, however briefly. Hope you have a nice time wherever you go. Hello, Hobo. Good to see you. One of our regulars, of course. Back in this afternoon. Let me know, guys, what you think the score's going to be if West Ham can win again this afternoon and keep our push. Now, I said I've been out for the weekend, which is absolutely true. I've not even seen any results from yesterday, so I was kind of hoping to try and catch up while I let Gnome and Pinky bang on about the game. But of course, as we're still waiting for them, I'm going to have to do that as the game goes on. Tell me in the live chat. I can see that. I haven't got to check. What were the scores yesterday? We still in a good position? Did Did the three above us win? Let me know. Let me know. They might not have even played yesterday. I've not seen anything to do with the Premier League this weekend. Terrible, isn't it? Terrible. Where the players are taking the knee now. Anyway, at Turf Moor, we're just about to kick off. And West Ham will be kicking from right to left. As we said, Ben Rama in the team today, maybe one of the only surprises, given his performances over the last couple of weeks, but a real opportunity for him to show what he can do. We are underway anyway at Turf Moor. Burnley on our screens as we look, kicking from left to right, West Ham taking the centre, and Burnley have the ball immediately with Chris Wood, our nemesis over the years, playing the ball down the line, but then rather inadvertently, I would imagine, playing it straight into touch. So West Ham have a throw. They all won, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for filling me in. I shall check up. They all got I did see something like this, Andy. I saw a mention that there was 6 penalties or something, and they were all deciding goals yesterday. No surprise to see that the three above us got awarded penalties, I guess. But this is what we're up against at the moment, I suppose. Neil Pope with a long ball down the centre onto the head of Chris Wood, unchallenged, but it falls to Vladimir Soufal. Hooks it towards the halfway line. It's a bit of an aimless punt, really. Burnley, an equally aimless punt back into West Ham territory. And Rodriguez bundles Craig Dawson to the floor, and West Ham have a free kick. Yes. Right, Pinky, I've got to send. Right, sorry, bear with me because I've got to paste. Okay. Pinky is here. I can tell you, Pinky is here. However, I've got to send him an invite. So I've got to take my eyes off the screen for just a minute. I do apologise. Terribly unprofessional today, but so this is what they demand of us. It's like can't do anything normally. Got to go out of our way. Treat them all like our children, or my fellow moderators at time. No, they all have to be treated differently. Got to look after them all. Okay, let's just post this in. 1 minute 44 gone in the game. Anyway, Burnley have the first free kick. Craig Dawson giving that away on the on or around the halfway line. There you go, Pinky. There's your link. So we should see him soon. So yeah, free kick to Burnley. 2 minutes gone. West Ham dropping deep, picking up their players. It's me, I think, who's going to take the free kick. Not me, but Burnley's one, obviously. Plays it long, looks to the right. It's onto the head of Tarkowski, who just gets a glancing header on it, can't do anything, and it just drifts out of play behind the goal for a West Ham goal kick. No goals yet so far. David Moyes next to Kevin Nolan, who is masticating furiously. That's masticating, just to clarify. Nice shot of the Sullivan Brigade with their passes, the huge passes, I should say. VIP passes, no doubt, in the stands. Our current chairman and fellow director now, young Jack, on the board at West Ham, of course. Put on the board last month. The ball is with Lucas Fabianski. He's got it on the deck. Whacks it long into the centre circle. It's a free header for Burnley, but it's another poor header, and Dawson clears it out. Now, Arthur Masuaku back in at left back this afternoon. That'd be an interesting one. Plays it short to Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays it back to Masuaku, who plays it back to Issa Diop, another player restored to the starting 11 in the absence of our regular central defensive duo. Let us know what you think on the live chat. Is that going to cost us? So have you got faith in Issa Diop and Craig Dawson? Of course, Dawson's got plenty of experience. Diop been very much in and out of the side this year. Played quite a bit in the Cups, but that's about it. Not really any Premier League experience since last year. Vladimir Soufal on the ball. Plays it down the right wing. Michail Antonio goes chasing after it. And it's nodded out of danger by Cork. And West Ham have a throw in about 20 yards from Burnley's goal line. On the right-hand side, Vladimir Soufal jogs forward to take it, looks up, looks for options. No one really moving. Bowen moves away. Antonio comes down the left. Still got the ball. Is he going to go back? No. There's plenty of movement. He's still got the ball in his hands. Taking his time over this one. Into Antonio, who shields it, plays it to Bowen. Bowen squares it into the centre. It's a poor delivery, really, and cleared out easy. Declan Rice picks it up, though, and plays it outright to Soufal. Soufal hooks it over the top to Michail Antonio. Can Antonio get on the end of this? Yes, he can. Does really, really well to beat me to the ball, but loses out. Gets in a bit of a mix-up with Jarrod Bowen, and Burnley can break now. It's a long ball played down the centre towards Chris Woods. Now, this is where we'll see our central defenders tested. But Declan Rice has done really well to get back, shield them, and win the ball. First interception of the day for Declan Rice there. Of course, his record is up there with anyone in the Premier League at the moment in this season. Done really, really well. If you check the stats, Issa Diop heads the ball out into touch. Burnley now have a throw in on the right-hand side, about 20 yards from goal. Andrew Doho says, I feel like Dawson Diop is good enough for now, but I'd like to see a January transfer for another centre-back. Yeah, pretty sure that's going to happen, Andrew, or at least they'll be, the club will be trying to do that. Of course, I guess the hope is we can do that sooner rather than later, get someone in the first week of January rather than, the last couple of days, which is our usual MO for that particular window. But Burnley have the ball anyway. It's swung into the centre, dangerous looking cross. Craig Dawson's done well I think that's Chris Wood. He's got ahead of the ball to win the header and nods it out into behind the goal for a corner to Burnley. The ball swung in from the right-hand side by Lowton in towards Wood, but Dawson doing well to get up above him and nod it behind for a corner. So first real test for the Hammers from a set piece. What can Burnley do with this one? We're in the 6th minute. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0 so far. West Ham picking up their man, who's Antonio. Antonio's picking up Tarkowski. The hand goes up. The cross drifted in from the right-hand side. It's an in-swinger. It's absolutely dreadful. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Well, the referee's calling a couple of players. I think this is going to be retaken. He's calling in Tarkowski and Jared Bowen. No, sorry, it's Tarkowski and Antonio. He's having a word with them. Now, just having a replay here. Antonio, I don't really see what Antonio's done anything wrong there at all. It's a bit of a strange one by our match official this afternoon. Not quite sure why he's pulled that up. But anyway, the corner is going to be retaken. It drifted harmlessly out of danger, but here it is coming again. That's a much better corner. Oh, and Chris Wood gets up at the far post. Really, really good chance, actually. Really, really good chance for Burnley. It's a fairly clear header. The ball swung towards the back post. 2 players in at the back post, one of whom was Chris Wood, who gets up above. I think it's Souček he beats in the air. Yeah, it's Souček, and unfortunately can't get enough purchase on it and nods the ball over the bar. So West Ham safe as a round of applause goes up for the young lad who was killed in tragic circumstances, young Arthur, a few weeks ago. I think we did it at West Ham, didn't we, last week? And perhaps this is the first opportunity Burnley have had to do that. But anyway, West Ham have the goal kick. Burnley win back possession. And it's a long ball. Again, I think we're, Burnley's setting a pattern here. It looks pretty much this is what like West Ham are going to have to contend with throughout this game, is that long ball over the top and down the channels. But anyway, they have the ball on the left-hand side this time. Cross comes in. It misses Dawson. Diop gets half a head on it. Ben Rama gets ahead of Westwood, who was coming in to finish it. But the ball's fallen as far as Lowton, heads it back in. Burnley still with the ball. West Ham can't get it clear yet. But that's okay. That's is that Soufal? I think he's just bought a free kick. He's knocked the ball past his man, and it's kind of one of those where he deliberately runs into his marker and goes to ground and wins a free kick. David Moyes is a little bit unhappy with what he's seen so far. Bit of a pained expression on his face. Sean Dyche is unhappy about something. Not quite sure. Maybe it was what he had to eat for breakfast this morning. Who knows? But he's waving his arms around a little bit. Still waving his arms around as Lucas Fabianski goes to take the goal kick. Anyway, clearly a not happy Dyche, but I guess he didn't feel that the free kick should have been given. The ball's punted straight down the centre. And yet again, Burnley get possession. West Ham have really struggled to get their foot on the ball so far. 8.5 minutes in so far. Burnley pretty much with the lion's share of possession from what we've seen this afternoon. Just that one shot on goal so far, or header anyway. Chris Wood's 6-minute effort from the corner, which didn't really trouble Lucas Fabianski. But West Ham yet to have a shot. Hi Keith, hi Metal, good to see you chaps. Hope you're doing well. Keith Ennis says it's always a tough one. This I'd like to see us get 4 points out of this and the Arsenal game. I think that would be a success. Yeah, it's a good shout that Keith. I think most of us would take that. How did Arsenal get on yesterday, chaps? Did they play? Let me know. Anyway, it's Michail Antonio. He's in a good position. They tried to play the ball out to Jared Bowen, but doesn't find him, and Burnley can bring the ball out again. First time West Ham have looked a little bit dangerous going forward so far. Burnley very much relying on the long ball down the flanks and over the top. It'll be a real test for our back four today. As I said, with Arthur Masuaku back in there. In fact, it's almost a new look back four, isn't it? No Ben Johnson. No Zuma, no Ogbonna, no Cresswell, all missing the first choice four of late, though, of course, Sufo will be your regular first choice right back. But anyway, Souček with the ball now. Plays it short to Masuaku, who finds Rice, who's out in an unusual position on the left wing. Rice plays it back into Diop inside West Ham's penalty box, and the Hammers look to build, playing the ball across the field. 10 minutes gone. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. We're still waiting for the rest of the crew to join us. But I'm assured that Noman Pink Palermo are going to be joining me very soon. This is the longest I've ever done this on my own. It's hard work. Hard work, all this talking. But West Ham looking dangerous now. Ball played out left side. Benrahma in the box, trying to get it on his right foot. Tries to cut inside and curl one round, but it's good defending from Burnley's number 2. Arthur Masuaku takes a strike. Oh, that's unlucky. Unlucky. Well, he scored a bit of a weldy, didn't he, against Chelsea last week, and obviously fancied it again. The ball dropped. Side Benrahma tried to curl one into the far post. It was well blocked by Burnley's number 2, Lowton, and then it fell to Arthur Masuaku, who was coming in, made a good run, actually, good supporting run, about 2 or 3 yards out of goal, outside the box, and tried a little volley. And it's only half a yard or so wide of the near post. Neil Pope, I think, had it covered, but he was stretching a bit. But West Ham's first real effort of the game, that one, coming from Masuaku. As I said, the unlikely winner against Chelsea last week. It does appear we are joined now by Noam. And fortunately, it looks like I can give my voice box a bit of a rest for a couple of minutes. How you doing, buddy?
Not too good at the moment. Trying to get a stream that isn't doing anything. I had one, which is why I signed on, and it's immediately gone and sat there and lagged. Okay. So there is a button that says refresh here if it lags, which I pressed and got all sorts of crap. So you're probably ahead of me at the moment. And
all right, I should keep everyone going then. While you give me a nod or something when you've got your stream up and running. We're hoping that Pinky's going to be joining us as well pretty soon. Yeah. But 12 minutes gone anyway. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. One shot each so far. Chris Wood header after 6 minutes for Burnley over the bar from a corner. Arthur Masuaku with that volley from just outside the box for West Ham, only narrowly wide of the post. Obviously, as I said, fancying his chances and almost doubling his tally for the season as it goes. No, have you seen the lineups this afternoon?
I haven't. I'm running about an hour late from where I'm supposed to be due to, let's just say, family issues that meant my departure from Hampshire to get back home was delayed. And right, look, just for a second there, I thought I had a link, but it's sort of thinking about it on 11 minutes and 51 seconds anyway. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be going anyway, but
all right. Well,
how long for, Lord knows. In fact, even before I finish that sentence, it's very juddery, but part of the fact is I'm on some old computer equipment because my newer computer equipment decided to die on me. But
okay. Well,
anyway,
I'll take everyone through the...
We're sitting going now. It's settled down. So,
okay. Well, we've just seen Arthur Masuaku break down the left-hand side, cut inside the box, tried to pull the ball back. And it's good defensive work by Tarkowski, which means West Ham have their first set piece of the game. It's a corner. So we'll have a real chance to see what if Burnley can defend their set pieces a little bit better than West Ham's. You all right? You on?
Yeah, I'm on. I've just seen Arthur Masuaku force the corner. So I'm on 12 minutes, 48 seconds at the moment. So I'm a bit behind you. But
yeah, you're about 40 seconds behind. So that's unusual. It's usually the other way round.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, we've just seen Westwood hit the deck. Just trying to see what happened there.
I'm lagging again.
Yeah, so I think is it? Well, it's I think Souček. It looks like he's got hold of Westwood and Tarkowski at the same time and hold them both to the deck. Westwood is rubbing his left ear. Not quite sure what happened there, but
I've just seen a load of players go down in a heap. Westwood holding his head. So yeah. I'm on 13, 23, 24 now. But this is not the greatest of streams. I'm going to see if I can find another one.
All right, okay. That's you've got the problems I was having the other night.
Yeah,
it seems when it all went a bit wrong in the second half. Anyway, Pope has a goal kick for Burnley. 14 minutes gone. What's your thoughts on this one, Naomi? You confident here today?
I think we should be able to get a win. I know they can be. If Woods is playing. He's one of those scores every time type players, but I'd fancy us to win, maybe the same as last year, 2-1. Um, yeah, what are the teams, mate? You probably run through them for the benefit of the public, but since I've been,
I can give them to you again. That's fine. We're just seeing. Okay, well, look like West Ham might be looking dangerous there, but anyway, nothing happening right now. Long ball hooks over the top, and Fabianski's got it in his hands. Teams as follows: West Ham, Fabianski, Soufal, and Masuaku at fullback this afternoon. As expected, Dawson and Diop at the centre of defence. And then it's pretty much as is Rice, Souček, Lanzini, Bowen, Ben Rama. No Fornals. Fornals dropped today, and Antonio. That was my expression when I saw it. Actually, the one you've just given. Surprised to see Fornals.
Clearly he didn't think Fornals had a particular game and thought that Ben Rama was a bit more lively when he came on the other day. What's the situation with Cresswell? Is he on the bench?
Not at all. No, he's not in the side at all.
Right, so he's still not. That explains Masuaku then, because I think if Cresswell were anywhere near fit, he'd be on there.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, with Masuaku there, that's another attacking option that we've got. Hopefully it'll be more attacking than defending, but
West Ham 20 yards from goal. There's a chance. Lanzini's got a chance to shoot, tries his luck. Unfortunately, drifts just wide of the left-hand post, a bit high, a bit wide. But second shot from West Ham, interesting. Both of them coming from outside the box after Masuaku's effort 5 minutes ago, and that one from Lanzini. Lanzini, a strange one. Really sort of lost it for a while, didn't he? And looked like he was on his way out. But the last few weeks, he's looked really, really good. Back to his best in some games.
I mean, obviously, he's made the decision there between Lanzini and Ben Rama. Lanzini and Fornals rather than Ben Rama, which is an interesting one there because, when he's on his game, I mean, he's an Argentinian international. With all due respect to Ben Rama, he isn't. And interesting one. But I think he lost a lot of confidence because that injury he had was a real sort of an injury. Yeah. And so we got Pinky, who's trying to work out which way up he wants to sit, I think, at the moment.
We have looking very dapper this afternoon.
Can you bear with me? My phone.
I won't be staying, Graham. You need
problem.
to put a link on the in the mod section, mate. My phone won't last this.
I've done it. It's in there.
No.
Yeah, well,
It's hang on. I do apologise. I've posted it and I didn't press the submit button. It'll be there now. My apologies. Right. Try again. Come back. Come and join us again. Mate. See you in a bit.
No,
amateur. See, I'm trying to do 100 things at once. Anyway, let's go back to the game briefly. Burnley have a free kick. 18 minutes gone.
In the middle of a conference call. So I'll call you later. Bye.
Right, okay. I thought you were talking to me for a minute there. Burnley with a free kick. 18 minutes gone. Pinky's going to be coming back very shortly. The ball floated into the centre. It's a long free kick tester for Dawson. Dawson, I think he's led with an elbow there, but the referee sees nothing wrong with it. I think it's Rodriguez who went down clutching his face, but he soon got up when he saw that Burnley have still got the ball. The ball out on the left-hand side. Burnley going to be looking to sling a crossover, no doubt. Still out on the left-hand side. Soufal closing down. Now Bowen doing some really good defensive work. And that's excellent from Bowen. And I think he's conceded a corner. It looked like he might have won a goal kick there. But Burnley have their second set piece. We were just talking about Lanzini, Noam.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's my mother who's lost some vital information from November, wondered if it was the October information that was missing, I think by this time he lost a bit of confidence with that injury, which he would do because it's what he had was a real bad one. But at the end of the day, he seems to have got a little bit of his verve, his joie de vivre, if you like, and a little bit of edge back to his game as well. Yeah. So
deserved start in there. Just going to cut in there, Noam, because Burnley have just taken the corner. Lucas Fabianski's come out, flapped it a little bit, not quite Roberto-esque as we saw here a couple of years ago, but the ball's eventually come off Chris Wood and it's gone out for a goal kick for West Ham. But West Ham has two corners Burnley have had now, and the Hammers looking a little bit nervous without Zuma and Bonner, obviously at the back there. But West Ham back in position. Pinky, good to see you, buddy. Sorry about that. I thought I'd posted the link, but it was there. sitting there waiting, but I just hadn't hit the submit button. I'm trying to do 10 things at once. This is the problem.
That's
so.
all right. I don't mind
Then
missing half of the first half because of your complete inadequate ability to press one button.
Absolutely was. Absolutely was.
It's one button. Okay. Happy to report I'm here alive.
Yes, good. Good.
What can only be described as Fat Tony's rather basic 14 up, 12 down in the middle of Brentwood. Pokey, really, you describe it as. And
Tiny.
literally
Bijou,
clowns to the
compact.
left, jokers to the right. Room full of West Ham United fans next door. So I'm banished to watching this from the conservatory through a glass window. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So, because they refuse to turn the sound down on the commentary. So, if I'm kind of looking like I'm looking through the window at the game, yeah,
Still got a better view than me.
create the feeling of being in the sort of, there's that little bit in the corner of the bowling ground where you could just stand on the hut and look into the corner. Yeah, it's a bit like that. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and little Ethan comes up to say hello, Ethan. No. Okay,
Well, it's good. I'm glad you managed to join us. Anyway, it's all a bit unorthodox today. No man to rush home. I've rushed in. None of us have done any prep for this game. Absolutely amateur, and of course, Pinky peering through a window. These are the lengths we go to for you people to make sure you can get it through. Anyway, Michael Antonio's on the ball. He's inside the area. Plays it back to Masuaku. Masuaku looks up for options. Here's Declan Rice on the edge of the box. Plays it out wide on the other side to Jarrod Bowen. Can Bowen get to Soufal? Gets a low cross in. Rather bizarre clearance from Tarkowski, sort of falls over and catches the ball on his instep at the same time, but it's safe, and the boys hoofed out into touch, and West Ham have a throw. Pinky, what do you think about today? Are we good for a win here, do you reckon?
Yeah, I forecasted 2-1 for us today. I think the extra bit of steel that David Moyes has put into West Ham is exactly what you need at a place like Burnley. Bit concerned about our left-hand flank. There's a couple of players there that I'm not a huge fan of. I think it's fair to say. And I think we'll be, if I was Sean Dyche, I know exactly where I'd be pressing and probing all afternoon. But so far, 0-0, you take that at this point. But a team in the bottom three, if we've got genuine aspirations to finish in the top four, you have to put them away, home and away. Normally my mantra is a point away from home is never a bad result. I'm afraid that someone like Burnley, the season they're having, just a point today would be a bad result. We need to win.
Yeah, fair
they are
point.
drawing a lot of games, aren't they?
They are indeed. Yeah, they didn't draw last weekend though, did they? When I think most people would have expected that to be the worst result they got. First team to lose to Newcastle. I mean, that's a very West Ham kind of thing of the past to do, isn't it? Statistically,
must be the claret and blue.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a general malaise that affects all team in those particular colours. But we're halfway through the first half. It's still 0-0. Gareth Southgate is in the crowd. Just seen a shot of him watching the game, presumably watching hopefully watching Jarrod Bowen, Declan Rice, maybe Tarkowski as well. But obviously not watching Michael Antonio. What am I talking about?
Or Michael Owen. Or Stanley Matthews.
He might be there. I don't know. He could be there. No, I was going to take you through the Burnley team as well, wasn't I? Pope, Lowton, me, Tarkowski and Taylor. In the midfield, Goodmanson, Cork, Westwood and McNeil. And Wood, our nemesis from years past, and Jay Rodriguez. On the bench, they've got Hennessy, Thomas, Brownhill, Collins, Bardsley, Peters, Vidra, Long and Lennon. As things stand, it's a goal kick to Burnley. So interestingly, chaps, you're both predicting a 2-1 win. So confidence abounds anyway in the Eyes Up Mother Brown team this afternoon. What time have you got,
by the way, Graham? Before we go, I've got a stable stream on one of the many laptops I've got lying around here. This one seems to be working and with no lagging in. So,
okay, I'm on 23:45 as we speak.
So I'm 20 seconds behind you, about 25 seconds behind you. So, but at least I'm there now. So.
Yeah, that's well. It works quite well because if something happens, whoever's behind can generally look out for it and. Yeah, works quite well. Those Pinky, where are you?
We're just coming off the pitch against Zagreb. That's how far behind I am.
What did you? I mean, we didn't get the opportunity to speak, did we, on Thursday? What did you make of that game and the fact that Moyes gave so many youth team players a run out? Pinky,
fabulous. I was absolutely delighted to see the under-23 back four play as a unit. I thought that was completely the right decision by David Moyes. Mm-hmm. I thought the four of them did themselves proud. I mean, they weren't perfect, but you wouldn't expect them to be. But I think a couple of good performances, certainly from the four. and the future looks bright in that sense. I thought young Perkins did okay up top. Not the worst performance that we've seen from someone doing that role. And more than anything, it was the right thing to do and very warmly received by the 50,000 or so that were there. Very few gripes about why aren't we seeing the first team. People understood where the club was, where we are in that competition. And I think Moyes got a lot of credit in the bank for that Thursday night. 1-0 defeat, pint of bothered.
Material. Yeah, it didn't really matter, did it, the result? It was the fact that, we managed to get them on the pitch. West Ham have a free kick in a dangerous area. Anyway, just to the right-hand side of Burnley's box, Michail Antonio sent tumbling to the ground by a challenge from Tarkowski, who didn't feel that he'd
just seen that, and I can't.
At all.
Yeah, Dyche is complaining about it, and I can't for me understand why. It's just a blatant foul, and
yeah, it looked that way, didn't it? But anyway, Bowen's lining up, puts his hand up, it's going to drift an in-swinger into the box. In it comes. It's short. Oh! You like this one, though? It's a close. It's no goal before you get too excited. The ball swung into the near post. Issa Diop's made a run across his man and then coming behind. Got a header on target, and it's not a fantastic save by Pope, but he's done what had to be done with Craig Dawson lurking. If he hadn't have managed to push it wide, it would perhaps have gone in. But West Ham attack the corner quickly. Oh, and it's Diop again. I think this one's clipped the bar. I mean, the ball's played short this time. West Ham mixing it up. Ball played short to Soufal, who swings the ball into the box. It's all happening here. Issa Diop gets up first again, heads it into the ground. I think the ball might have clipped the crossbar. I mean, it's immaterial anyway because the flag's gone up for offside. But no, a couple of real good chances for West Ham there.
Yeah. Firstly, the first one was quite a good save there from Pope. Did well with his right hand to put it out past the post for a corner because any other direction people were sniffing around. Second one, well, it was offside anyway, but Diop looking dangerous at the other end for once.
Yeah. Pinky, there's our man. I mean, all jokes aside, we're really hoping he can step up to the plate now and prove himself to be, a really valuable member of the squad. Issa, of course, I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I've been a significant critic of his for some time now. I'd like him to come good. Let's not forget we paid a lot of money for his potential. Yeah. Okay, and as a minimum, we either want to get a few hundred matches out of him, or trade him on for at least some kind of a profit. But he hasn't done enough for us to do that. Either appear in the number of games or be a player that we could trade. I don't know. I don't know whether it's a run of games he needs. I don't know if we'd be better off, and this might sound like heresy, but sending him out on loan somewhere, just to a club that could actually, who would play him every single week. Because how much is he going to learn sitting on the bench? Therefore, if you don't trust him to do the job now, how much will he learn on the bench? So he's got a chance now. He needs to take it. He needs to prove to David Moyes that he can be trusted, because the next 5, 6, 7 games, if he doesn't do more than he has been doing, then we're at the point of there is no point.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, he's got the opportunity to do it now, hasn't he? Really good move for West Ham, really beginning to take a stranglehold in this game. A really good move on our right-hand side, culminating with Manuel Lanzini slipping the ball through to Antonio, who tried to play it back into the Argentinian, but really good defensive work from Taylor, who just puts the ball out behind the goal. So West Ham have another corner now. You get the feeling, I mean, you get these little feelings, don't you, in the game when, the pressure starts to build and you sense a goal coming. Kind of get the feeling West Ham might be on the verge of something now, but anyway, just
on the ball.
Yeah, look better, don't we? We started quite, but just
we're sort of cutting through them quite nicely when we have got the ball. Well, I mean, you're ahead of me, so we'll wait for the corner to be taken. But as I say, you're ahead of me, so I won't.
Yeah, well, I can tell you it comes to nothing. It's a free kick given to Burnley. Someone's gone in. I think it might be Dawson, who's collided with Pope. I was just watching the replay now.
Dawson's giving him a little sort of cradling in there. So
if you watch the replay as Pope's punched the ball out, Dawson's foot's gone up as it is wont to do. It's quite strange angles against the post and opposition and stuff like that. He's kicked him right in the face. I think there's a bit of blood on Pope's mooey there. So right for the game being stopped so he can receive a bit of attention.
Free kick, nothing more than that, and just need to make sure, because it's in the face. So just need to tidy him up there, which gives me a chance to come back on Pinky there, who's come up with this idea of perhaps sending Diop out on loan and describing it as possible heresy. I don't know about heresy. I don't think it's an option, Pinky, mate. It's not like we're overburdened with central defenders. I get your point about do you trust him? Well, it's not a case of do you trust him in particular. It's a case of, you've got a choice of two. Who do you trust more? And then do you trust him to come in and do a job if your first choice, which at the moment clearly he's trusted to be, if you like, second choice. And I think that's about right. But we haven't got the numbers to be sending out potential first team players online.
No, not at the moment. Obviously not at the moment. But I'm thinking more end of the season or of the end of the transfer window if we've managed to bring some bodies in.
Maybe then. Maybe.
Yeah, but, it's a position that we're hardly alone in seeking better quality there, because we all know you make a mistake at centre back, inevitably you concede a goal. And you look at Tottenham Hotspur, first week of the transfer window, they will have 2 new centre backs arriving at the Lane. They'll do it. They will go and do that. Okay. We, on the other hand, will still be dithering, and we'll be dithering because we're looking at Issa Diop and we're going, we'll hope he becomes good. I think we really are reaching a point. We've got to make a decision about him, because I get why he's in the team today, but he's only in the team today because 2 other players are injured. If only 1 other player was injured, he wouldn't be in the team.
Yeah. No, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. But as we said, we all hope he comes good. I can tell you now that Neil Pope is back on his feet, having been down receiving treatment. Looked like there was a trickle of blood coming from under here, the top of his lip, and they've suitably bunged him up.
He's doing his Marlon Brando impersonation.
Yes. I was going to say he looks a bit like a boxer at the moment, but the game is underway.
I mean, we just saw there Sean Dyche in the era of the 4th official. Now, Dawson's gone in. Yes, his foot's up, but it's Pope's forward motion as much as Dawson's forward motion. They're basically, it's a collision more than anything else. Yeah, his foot's high, so it's always a bit dangerous. But quite why Dyche was in the 4th official's ear, I don't know. I mean, he takes a very principled stand on things like diving, and you hear that, and that's fair enough. But not so much principled on all the other stuff that his team like to get away with, shall we say? Now I'm just seeing Bowen down. He looks like he was taken out there. You got that?
Yeah, it's a booking for Taylor, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, Taylor who's gone through it. Yeah. There's a couple of naughty challenges in there. Yeah, but it's I think that's warranted, isn't it? Yellow card on that occasion.
Yeah, it's Charlie Taylor, the back of his ankle. So be interested to see what Dyche has got to say about that, because there's no real attempt to play the ball. He's just kicked it basically, or put his studs into the back of his ankle, which is painful enough, even if you're wearing proper football boots rather than carpet slippers. They bounce around in these days.
You're not a fan, are you, of these modern style footwear?
I wouldn't mind it, but after time, I mean, last time I bought a pair of boots, which admittedly a few years ago, but I was trying to find a pair that were black. And it was a nightmare.
You can get them. I've got black boots. Bought them a few weeks ago. Lovely pair of Adidas. Burnley have got a corner, by the way. Back on the game.
Other brands are available, viewers. Okay,
yes. Thank you for pointing that. Thank you for pointing that out, Pinky.
I quite like the new Aston Martin. If anyone's watching.
All right, now we're just getting silly. Burnley have a corner.
Yeah, you're aiming for a pair of football boots. You're aiming for a tin of drink.
Well, start low.
I'll tell you how loyal this household is to West Ham United. Young Ethan, who is the youngest grandchild, I can see him in the front room playing with a digger truck that is called Tonka. Yeah, you can't get more West Ham than that.
Named after Ray Stewart, of course. The whole toy range was. Yeah.
Indeed. Good lad, Ethan.
Ball's been played long down the right-hand side, a bit aimless from Burnley. West Ham seem to be in the ascendancy here, Pinky, beginning to get on top. Again, we've started slowly. This seems to be a bit of a pattern, does it, in recent games for West Ham? It takes time to get going, but seem to get there in the end.
Yeah, I mean, right at the start of the season, we were coming out firing more cylinders from minute one. As the season's gone on, we've got a little bit slower and a little bit slower. I mean, I don't know what's on your screen at the minute, but I've just seen Rice make another vital contribution there. But we are getting on top. But it's the old adage: when you're on top, you've got to score. You have to score. And we look at the chance that Diop, good header, good save by Wood, but not Wood, by Pope. But these are the ones that you've got to get in the net. Because you just know Sean Dyche will have looked at this fixture and gone, high-flying West Ham, I'll take a point all day long. Yeah, because where his team are now, they're in the, if we survive, it doesn't matter how, it just matters that we survive. Absolutely. They're in that mode and that mentality. And a point against a top 16 for his side it'd almost count as a scalp. So for us, we've got to put this lot to bed. We really do.
Yeah, we've just seen, thank you, Pink. We've just seen West Ham drive down the right-hand side. Declan Rice, who's been instrumental so far, pushes into the box, plays it short to Bowen. Bowen trying to curl one in, but it's caught Tarkowski, I think. No, it's not Tarkowski. I'm not quite sure who it is, but it's deflected off the defender and it's out for a corner. But Declan Rice, now beginning to, really pick this game up by the scruff of the neck and almost single-handedly drive West Ham forward here. Yeah,
those driving runs from out of defence and all that. I mean, obviously, they're going to work more against some teams than others. I'd suggest that Burnley are one of the teams that it would work more against. So just seeing a stat, we've had 4 corners to there too. So, there you go.
Just coming in there quickly, penalty shout for West Ham. The corner's come in. It's gone right across the face of goal. Craig Dawson's gone out to retrieve it. Let's just have another look at this. The ball's gone out. He's shielded the ball, and then I think it's Rodriguez who's come in. I mean, that's a penalty. He's clipped his ankle and sent him to the ground. I mean, it should. Let me know what you think about it. But there's it's a blatant penalty. I'm surprised VAR aren't looking at this. I'm surprised.
I'm watching the replay now.
They are looking at it. VAR are checking this. I'm sure this is going to be a penalty.
It's a clear penalty. He kicked his ankle. There's no contact with the ball. Oh, and just at that point, as they're showing the second replay of it, my stream decides to lag again.
All right. Penalty for you, Pinky?
I've not seen it yet, so I've got that excitement to come. So,
all right. No penalty. No, it's not been given. Well, I'm utterly perplexed. How is that not a penalty?
I've seen enough of VAR this weekend, just being sort of.
Wow.
Yeah, where they've looked at it and spotted something that's blatantly obvious and then just ignored it. So he's kicked him. He's kicked him on the foot. And you can tell immediately after he kicks him on the foot, look at the defender or whoever it is, Rodriguez's reaction. His hands are on his head. He knows he's done wrong.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
bizarre. Bizarre.
That's just bizarre. If you've got the technology and you ignore what you see, then that makes you incompetent or corrupt. I don't care which one it is. You should be doing the job.
Can we think of any reason why that hasn't been given? What's your thoughts?
No, I can't think of one.
Stonewall penalty. Absolute stonewall penalty. No question. I mean, the excuse that will be used will be that he's running away from goal. But in the box, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's the only excuse for not giving a red card. It's not denying a goal-scoring opportunity. But it's still a foul.
Their argument will be that Dawson has run into the defender. Okay?
No, complete and utter squad of that.
If a striker does that, that's called good attacking play. Because a lumbering centre-half has done it, because he's actually used his noddle, they've clearly just said, oh, no, he couldn't possibly think of doing that. So we'll benefit the defender. That was an outrageously bad decision by VAR. And actually, it's not VAR that's made the decision. It's a referee sitting in a booth somewhere who's just decided no pen. And I'm afraid Manchester City get given a penalty yesterday for what blatantly wasn't a penalty. And West Ham United getting denied a penalty today for what blatantly is a penalty. And
if he's got Salah on his back of his shirt instead of Dawson, that's a penalty. Simple as that.
Yeah. By poor decision making, these officials are bringing the whole system into disrepute because I don't think there's anyone in the world of football that would say that Man City deserved that penalty yesterday. And I can't imagine there's too many people that be saying at half time that wasn't a penalty for West Ham. Outrageous. And come the end of the season, those things might matter.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're all perplexed. Let us know what you think on the live chat on YouTube. Noam, are you able to check the KUMB.com forum and see what the
give it a go in a minute.
Okay.
At this moment, I've sort of like I've got various computers doing various things, not very quickly. I've just had to reload the stream there, which I've got.
I'm the
just to try and
leader.
check.
I'm the leader.
I've got 38.
I've just clicked. I was going to suggest it's Bitcoin mining, but there you go.
Yeah.
sorry, Gordon. Sorry.
Whatever that is.
40 minutes gone. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. West Ham clearly should have had a penalty. I think it's McNeil actually, not Rodriguez, who trips Dawson. No, but we're all utterly perplexed. Hobo agrees. Ridiculous decision. That's a pen all day long. He says we'll have to wait to see at the end of the game what Mr. Moyes thinks about it. But I get the feeling he might agree with us chaps, especially if we don't go on to win this game. But anyway, Burnley breaking down the left-hand side. Bowen scurrying back to hold his man up, does very well. It's played back and now it's hooked into the box. Little flick on header. Lucas Fabianski looks troubled at first. It's Rodriguez with the backwards header. Fabianski had to dash to his left-hand side, but guided it wide of the post. It's gone behind for a goal kick for West Ham. So still waiting for our first goal. Just want to go back to a couple of things. Steve Page, sorry, mate. I did see your post there. I just haven't had the opportunity to come in. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Chris was asking about streams. If you go to the KUMB.com forum, Chris, and look for the streaming thread, we might be able to help you out there. Anyway, let us know what you think about that penalty decision. We're, as I say, we're stunned, surprised, and a little bit perplexed as to why it wasn't given. But we're rapidly approaching half-time now, still looking for a goal. No, I mean, what's your overall assessment of what you've seen? I mean, most of it will have been stuttering streams, of course, but the bits that you have seen, what do you think of West Ham's performance so far?
It looks fairly good so far. I mean, we're looking tight. Burnley don't look to be offering an awful lot from what I've seen, although clearly that may have happened in the bits where I wasn't able to see. But they're just showing yet again he's kicked him. I'm sorry, and he's gone like that because he knows what he's done. That's
it's a giveaway, isn't it?
Yeah.
West Ham have a corner anyway. On the right-hand side.
All right.
Antonio,
you're
standing
about a minute ahead of me now, so
okay.
I'll try and get something a little bit more reliable during the interval. But while I've got something that's sort of running, even if it does lag every couple of seconds, I'm a bit loath to lose it.
All right, no worries. Issa Diop's been spoken to. Not quite sure him and me pushing them each other. Anyway, I'm going to wait for the corners to come over. Bowen delivers it into the box. It's flicked on by Thomas Souček, but it's wide of the post, and it's a goal kick for Burnley. Another effort on goal for West Ham. Stats-wise, quickly, Burnley 47% possession, West Ham 53%. Burnley 2 shots at goal, yet to, get one on target. West Ham 5 shots, 1 on target so far. 4 corners to Burnley, 5 to West Ham. Pinky, what do you make of what you've seen so far? Are you happy with this, or are we playing a bit within ourselves right now?
I mean, I'm okay with it because, the measure always is which goalie's working harder. And in truth, neither goalie's working that hard at the minute. But I'd suggest Pope has done more than Fabianski's had to. I think, this is a workman-like Burnley team, and you just have to grind them down. Sean Dyche teams don't roll over and just give up, because they all know if they do that, they're doing double training and push-ups, and that's just at half-time. So they're not going to give up, but you have to grind them down. That means probably trying to hang on to the ball a bit more than we normally would, play more of a possession-based game. We've got the players on the pitch to unlock the doors in Ben Rahman and Lanzini. We can do that. But when the chances come, you have to take them. Today, above all days, you get a chance, take it.
We've just seen Ben Rama. Lowton's taken out Ben Rama, and I don't think it's going to be penalised in any way, but it looked like a potential yellow card I think maybe that's a bit strong.
I mean, case in point there. Case in point, I've just seen the Souček header.
Yeah.
There's no one near him, and he fails to get it on target.
Yeah.
In the context of this particular game, that's a crime because.
Although, to be fair, given how far outside the post, I've just seen it as well. Given us how far outside the post, that would have been a remarkable header had he been able to get it inside. Some excellent neck musclage going on there.
Should get something on target from it.
We are into added on time at the end of the first half. I'm not quite sure how many minutes have been added on. We expect it will be 3 or 4 perhaps. West Ham, Souček tries to get a crossing. It's low, only cleared as far as Lanzini. Lanzini holds onto the ball, looks for option, plays it back to Declan Rice. What can Rice do? Plays it out left to Arthur Masuaku. Come on, Arthur, in the same position he scored from against Chelsea. 3 players up against him now. They're obviously wary of what he can do. Ben Rama with the ball. Ben Rama's looking to get it in. Short to Masuaku. Little 1-2. Plays it back to Declan Rice. West Ham still probing, looking for an opportunity to get it over. Here it is. Masuaku. That's a decent centre, but it's nodded out with consummate ease by one of Burnley's centre-backs, and they managed to hike the ball long. But Issa Diop does well to win the ball back, and West Ham have a throw-in. I think it's been... No, it hasn't. It's been given against West Ham. Well, that's just ridiculous. Declan Rice played it off Rodriguez, and the linesman, after a few seconds of deliberation, gave it to the home side. Knowing that the officiating, obviously this is a bugbear of yours and something you enjoy getting your teeth into, but lots to get your teeth into this afternoon from what we've seen so far. Yeah,
I mean, this particular official, I mean, even PGMOL don't rate him. He was promoted beyond his means, and a few scenes ago they tried to get shot of him. Basically, they tried to relegate him back down out of the select group, and he appealed, and I think he may have threatened all sorts of legal action or something. But whatever reason, he was successful in his appeal. Nothing I've seen so far, in between watching little dots running across the screen, it's convincing me that he's up to the task. He's simply not a very good referee. But that's the whole thing wrong with the system. It protects people like him, and instead of weeding them out.
Well, talking about the officials, he's just pulled the yellow card out of his pocket for a second time. Michail Antonio was surging down the right-hand side, and Mia's basically, I think the term is, taken one for the team. Come across him, it's the clearest yellow card you'll ever see. But that's the second Burnley player in the book today, and a final chance. One would assume.
I've seen that, and in typical sort of Burnley situation, me sitting on the ground going, "What?"
Yeah. Well, it's a standard response, isn't it, from any players these days? But 3 minutes, only 3 minutes added on, which is a little bit of a surprise. But Bowen, this will probably be the last chance of the half. So Bowen's going to try and swing this one in, I think, although Declan Rice is also standing over the ball. Burnley 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lining up in a straight line across the area. That's a very interesting method of defending. But it's Declan Rice, outswinger, poor delivery, cleared out by the first man of those 6. But West Ham had the ball again. Back with Declan Rice, looks up. It's going to have to go in quick if West Ham are going to do anything here, but it's played all the way back to Fabianski, and that's going to be half-time. Indeed, it is 48 minutes and 8 seconds, and we go into the break level on terms. West Ham United nil, Burnley nil, West Ham United nil. The big talking point, Pinky, of course, is going to be that decision in the 37th minute by the referee and VAR, of course, not to award a penalty for the trip by McNeil on Craig Dawson. North End Road suggesting on the live chat that perhaps that penalty might not have been given because there were so many awarded yesterday. What do you reckon on that?
Yeah, they've used up their quota.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could understand it why, they don't want to give another top 4 team a penalty. But why pick on little old West Ham? And, I mean, whilst I understand North End Road's position on that, surely that can't be influencing anyone in Stuckley Park and what have you. You've got to believe that the refs who are doing that job either do it with honesty or as a minimum a degree of competence.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ethan. It's a stonewall. You can't get away from the fact
Yeah.
that you can watch that 1,000 times from 1,000 different angles. It's a penalty. Yeah, under the laws of the game, it's a penalty. It's a spot kick. Yeah. And
Is it one of those that if it happens anywhere else on the pitch, the referee just gives it without a second thought?
Instantly.
Yeah.
It's a foul. He's kicked it.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, and the concern I've got here is, does anyone believe that if that West Ham United player had done that to, say, a Liverpool player in the 89th minute in front of the Kop, that it wouldn't have been given?
Yep.
And this is where we're now getting to is, and it pains me to say it, but we're getting to the point where people are starting to think there's an element of corruption. I personally don't think there is. I think it's a competence issue. I think they're getting confused with their own technology, their own systems. But an element of people sitting in Stuckley Park trying to make out that there's some kind of messiah. Just watch it.
Yep.
Watch it in real time, spot kick or not. And there's not a football. There's not anyone who's played the game who wouldn't give that as a penalty. You know, and
I agree with you, Pinky. I don't think that it is corrupt. The problem that we've got is that because of the sort of, as I mentioned earlier, the protectionist type of system that we've got, you're breeding a culture in whereby it's wide open to corruption. I don't think it is, but let's face it. If Mike Dean, for example, to quote our favourite, gave a really stupid penalty decision that turns a game, or a sending off that turns a game, and somebody were going to pay him to do that, who would notice? Because, you know, who would notice? I mean, we're noticing that with that one today, Graham Scott. He might not have seen it, but whoever's sitting in VAR will have done.
I mean, that's the point, isn't it? No, that's the real perplexing issue about it. Because yes, you can understand it if the referee hasn't seen it. It's you know, he's got the McNeil's got his back to the referee. He might not necessarily see him come across. Fair enough, but this is why we have VAR, and there must be there must be a reason why they haven't given it. But we're struggling to come up with a possible reason why.
You see, I mean, just to show you how totally ridiculous it is, and the way they like to sort of protect their mates. You know, the guy in Stockley Park doesn't really want to say his mate's wrong if he can possibly get away with it.
Yeah.
But yesterday's one where it's Manchester City, and the excuse they came out with was, "Oh, we couldn't get an angle that definitively proved it."
Right.
And as Gary Lineker said, we found one in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, if you've got, I mean, but we've seen it time and time again. Yeah, where they sort of going back a while back when I think it must have been Salah got away with a dive, and they came out with an excuse as to why retrospective action wasn't being taken.
Yeah,
and effectively they quoted a rule that doesn't exist.
Right.
And they said, they keep saying this sort of thing. Oh, if the referee's taken action, we can't do anything about it. Completely wrong. They've got every power to do something about it. And but what they should have said was, it's Liverpool. We don't want to take retrospective action.
Okay.
But there's just a whole aura of dishonesty pervades the whole PGML organisation, which is designed not to improve refereeing standards, but to protect the ones that are there already. End of. And you've just seen perfect example of that. You've got the opportunity to say, he's kicked him, that's a penalty. And you think, well, yeah.
All right, okay.
I mean, for my money in there, you know, if you just take penalties, how could you immediately improve the decision making? Have 3 match officials sat in their own booth, soundproofed, no contact with the other match officials. Yeah, just have 3, and ultimately, you can't have a split decision. Yeah, it's either 2-1 in either favour or 3-0. Yeah,
like it.
And you go with a majority verdict. At least that way, you're saying you're increasing your chances of getting. Well, you're certainly eliminating the corruption issue. That's for sure. Or massively reducing it, but you're also giving an opportunity for the refs there and then to correct the mistake of another ref who might be trying to be a bit too clever. You know, and another aspect.
I mean, with that one, as I've said,
Okay.
Scott's a poor official. It's acknowledged throughout the football world, the refereeing world even. He could be excused for not seeing that one because penalty areas are crowded. And,
Yeah.
you know, quite accept that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But that's what VAR's for. VAR's for picking up,
Indeed.
you know, something like that. You know, he gets something in his ear and says, you might have missed something there. I think he's kicked him. And go and have a look. Everyone's happy. Well, Dyche isn't happy because he never is, but
well, I imagine he's extremely happy if he's looked at a video replay of that and it's been given in his team's favour. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I should say at this point that the views and opinions expressed on this stream are those of the highlighted streamers and do not necessarily represent or reflect the official policy or position of KUMB.com with reference to mention of corruption and such like. But anyway,
I think we've gone out of our way to say we don't think they're corrupt, but nobody can argue that the way things are run at the moment, it does leave them open to it.
All right, there you go. There you go.
I think that explains. I think that's our position, isn't it, Pinky?
Absolutely, and I mean there are worse crimes. I mean, you know, I'll just list a couple. Number one, banish me to the conservatory because you're too selfish to turn the sound down on the TV. Number two, make me wait till half time to get so much as a cup of coffee, and then think you can actually get round me by providing me with a biscuit as well. It's a nice try, Tony, but pretty poor hospitality, it must be said.
There you go.
Right,
poor Pinky banished to the conservatory. For those who've just joined us on the stream and wondering why he's peering through somebody's window, it's not a case of he's got to go next door to nick their stream. He's actually trying to keep it quiet for you guys so you can hear what we're all saying. Anyway, should we have a look back at the other incidents in that first half, gentlemen? There wasn't an awful lot, but the first effort went to Burnley. I don't think either of you guys were around when this happened, so I'll just run through it quickly. But it's a corner anyway, delivered to the far post. Chris Wood, who has scored so often against West Ham in the past, rose highest at the far post, but couldn't quite get his head over it, nodded it just over the bar. And then Arthur Masuaku, in a not dissimilar position to where he scored from against Chelsea last weekend, tried a volley that was no more than a couple of feet wide of the left-hand post. Manuel Lanzini had an effort which went high and wide. And then probably West Ham's best chance, I reckon, though, with the first half. If you were, taking the penalty shout out of the equation, which we all agree should have been a penalty. Decent save from Nick Pope from it was a Jared Bowen corner to the near post, divots to the near post. Issa Diop gets the head on target, and Pope manages not only to save it, to push it wide of goal.
Yeah, I mean there was quite a gap between him and his near post, so to actually get it past that and out for a corner, which was, I mean, that was the only place he could have put that that was definitely 100% safe. So yeah, good save from Pope. It's just when we've got the ball, and as saying between bits of jet lag, and we look like we're capable of playing it through them, and say, okay, set pieces. We've looked dangerous at set pieces.
Yeah.
Although we now that Dyche has had a word with the fourth official, I think we need to perhaps lay off the keeper just a little bit, because if he even so much as gets a sneeze, the referee's going to blow for that. But yeah, I mean, we're back to looking dangerous at set pieces. Although we've still got a few without scoring. The other thing I wanted to see, did you say Tarkowski had already got a yellow?
No, it was Taylor in the 33rd minute, and then Me got one, didn't he, in injury time?
Yeah, it was the Me one. I mean, Antonio's got to start taking him on. He's got to get out there, or Antonio and Bowen, whoever's out right, wide on the right, has got to push it past Me, because he's one slip from a red card.
Yeah, definitely.
I did me a disservice earlier on when he sat down after basically wiping out Antonio, and I did say he tried to look innocent. To be fair, when I looked at it again, he put his hand up as if, okay.
No, all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
So I
credit where credit's due and all that.
Yeah, apologise for that.
Back to the game. West Ham, really, there wasn't that many clear-cut opportunities. The best one after that opportunity for Diop was 2 minutes ahead of the end of regulation time. Another Jared Bowen corner, Pinky, seems to be delivering them quite accurately so far. Thomas Souček, we felt perhaps could have done a little bit better at the near post.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, he's you have to make the keeper work. You know, if you get a
Yep.
free header in and around the area. I know Noam's got a view that you need to get a lot of neck muscle on it to get it anywhere near target, but if that's the case, then you've mistimed your run. You know, for my money,
that may be more the point. I thought he did well to get the header as close to goal as he did, being so far outside the post himself.
Okay.
I get that, but ultimately, the hard bit is finding yourself the space in the box.
Yeah.
That's the hard bit. And once you've done that, you've got to make something from it, because if you get 2 of those in 90 minutes, you've done well. I think we've had 3 headers in and around the 6-yard area.
Yep.
You know, in the opening 45 against a pretty good defensive lineup for Burnley. So are we going to keep getting those opportunities? I think not. And you have to say, if you shut off that chance of a goal, what else have we shown this afternoon that's going to get us one?
Yeah.
Has Ben Rama done anything particularly of note? Has Lanzini? You know, we need a bit more from our attacking orientated players this afternoon to unlock this Burnley defence and have a go at them, because they are, I'm not saying they're there for the taking, but when are we going to start realising we are 4th for a reason and they are 3rd bottom for a reason?
Mm-hmm.
And I keep coming back to this mentality that we've got. I think we're better than we were. But someone like a Liverpool would rock up at Turf Moor and they'd be going 4-0's par today, boys. Let's put them to the sword. And I just want a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of swagger from this West Ham team that just says we're confident enough to come to Turf Moor and say, this ain't the West Ham of old. You know, we're going to do you today. And we're not doing quite enough at this point. We really aren't.
No, we definitely need to pick up a bit more in the second half. I mean, you know, as we said, we've had the best chances. Quick look at the match stats, because we haven't gone through those yet. Burnley 41% possession at half-time to West Ham's 59%, a complete swing from even the game against the Gred, but also last week against Chelsea. 2 shots for Burnley, still yet to find the target at all. West Ham 6 shots, only 1 on target, the Diop effort that we mentioned. Good save by Nick Pope. 4 corners to Burnley, 6 to West Ham. 157 passes Burnley have made in that first half compared to West Ham's 224. Now, gentlemen, I was going to mention this, but Dan's also picked up on it on the live stream. There has been a goal in this afternoon's other game at Leicester, and it's a penalty. And I've not seen it. Tielemans has scored, but according to Dan says, OMG, if you are angry at the penalty we didn't get, just wait until you see the penalty Leicester did get today. So I guess that you know, puts North End Road's suggestion into touch that, you know, referees have been told not to give any penalties, or at least unless they're blatantly obvious this afternoon. Known, but again, I suppose we're going to feel a little bit hard done by once we see that.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Have either of you guys seen it yet? I don't know if you've had a chance to.
I haven't.
To watch
No, I haven't put the telly on yet. I mean, I was rushing to get in, as you know. So, I'll tell you what. I've got a forum open.
Yes, I was going to come to that. Let's have a dive in there and see what.
I may not be much use with the live stuff, but I've got a forum open. Yeah. So I think actually this one pretty much sums up what I've seen so far, and I suggest that the post has probably seen a bit more than I have because of the streaming issues. But it's Il Martello di Genovese, or Genovese, however you pronounce that. Mind if I call you Il? He's summed it up so far, which I think is perfect. It just says, we're by far the better side. They just want to foul all the time. When we build and when we have corners, a little bit of composure needed and we win this game. And I think that's just sums it up nicely. Get a bit of composure in front of goal. Get Bowen and Antonio on Taylor and me. You know, they're down to 10. And so that was, again, Peaches is summing up what I've just said there. We've got to attack their left channel with me and Taylor both on yellows. Lawton should also be on a yellow. The ref's been atrocious, but if we continue to attack that channel, it won't be long before the ref has a decision to make. Well, yeah, that's a bit worrying. The referee has to make a decision, but again, Junko partner, regular on these things. Bit of a battle this one, with corners being the weapon of choice for both sides. I think that's a little bit harsh on us because from what I've seen, yeah, we've had some good passing moves.
Yep.
Which okay, at the end it might be those corners come from those good passing moves. I think we're edging it. Those bookings will be a factor for Burnley in the second half. Hoping for a bit more finesse with more of Lanzini, Bowen, and Benrahma on the ball. And
Okay.
And daytime Dave is not winning any friends around these parts. I can tell you. He says best thing about that half was my stream. It's faultless. Cheers, mate.
Nice one, Dave. Can I just let you know that the game has restarted. We're in the second minute of the second half. Burnley, we're just seeing Declan Rice drive towards goal again. He's on the edge of the box, cuts inside, and he's through. Declan Rice. Oh, he's almost done a Ricky Vidia, but the ball's with Benrahma, and Benrahma's, I think he's hit the post. I think Benrahma's taken a shot on it, or did Pope get a save? Anyone who remembers the Ricky Vidia goal in the 1981 replay, I think it was FA Cup replay, wasn't it? Declan Rice has just done something very similar, dribbled through 3 or 4 players, got himself into the box, and just stopped by me as he would have shot afterwards. Benrahma's, let's have a look here. Oh, no, I think the ball's just taken the deflection out.
First dribble.
Yeah, but we have a corner anyway. I think it's Lanzini floats it over. It's a decent delivery, headed on by Diop. Dawson tries Souček tries an overhead kick, which is an interesting proposition from a tall fella like him. But West Ham still have the ball. It's out wide with Benrahma. He's going to look to put this back into the box. He does. I think it's going to be a bit too close to Pope. Indeed, it is. And the big keeper clutches it and pulls it out of the air. Burnley on the break again. No, good stuff from Declan Rice. Looking lively.
Yeah. I've just seen it now. It was me who came across and. Me was one too many, I think, wasn't he, to beat? Not that he had much choice, but fine run from Declan. And again, what I said before, I think that this is certainly a team that against whom Declan can think about bringing those balls out from defence, think about going on those runs. And again, just get near Taylor or me and see what happens, because you push it past one of those and they clip you. Yeah.
Down you go. Yeah. 3 minutes gone. Now, I should say that Burnley had the first chance of the second half. We're just seeing Burnley on the attack on the left-hand side. Jared Bowen did some really, really good tracking back. But West Ham are in a bit of trouble. I think Bowen's going to get booked for this. Bowen is, I think it's, it was an interesting one. It was Taylor who got between Bowen and Soufal. A little bit fortunate to do so. Soufal rather jumping in, then Bowen tripping Taylor as he came back inside. And I haven't seen the card go up, but we were watching the replay while Graham Scott walked over there. I'm assuming that Bowen's been booked for that because it was pretty clear foul. Sean, but I guess that might not have happened because Sean Dyche is throwing a wobbly on the sidelines, even though his side have been granted the free kick. That shot I was just telling you about. Yes. Oh, has he? No, I don't think he has booked him. Anyway, gentlemen, if you see that,
I've just seen it now at sort of full speed. They'll show a replay eventually, no doubt.
I can tell you while you're looking at that, Noam, the free kick's been taken. It's nodded out by West Ham. They've dealt with it well, and Burnley have lost possession now, and West Ham will hope to break. But I didn't see a yellow card, gentlemen. Did you? Either of you?
Bowen a little bit lucky there, I think, for me.
Yeah.
He's put a leg up, and it's high up off the floor, sort of thing. Not in a dangerous way, but indicating that he's just there's no real attempt to play the ball there, sort of thing. It's a blocking tactic. So the biter bit, I think, is the one for that. Yes. We think Lowton should also be on a yellow. So
yeah, no, that's fair enough, I guess. Pinky. Soufal jumped in a little bit uncharacteristically there, didn't he? It's not like him to sort of go in like that.
Well, I've only just seen the Bowen incident, and that's a yellow card. It should be, no question. And if he's escaped one for that, maybe that's the ref saying sorry, I got the penalty decision wrong.
Cheers, ref.
That's as much as a nailed-on yellow as it was a nailed-on penalty.
Yeah.
So for me, but I mean, more concerningly, I've just seen Benrahma, surrender possession twice. Once with just a really lazy, nothing cross into no one and nobody, and the other was just running into a blind alley of 3 defenders. And he needs to be doing better than that. his decision making, which was my major gripe with him last year, which we thought had improved a bit in the early part of this season, he's gone backwards. He's gone backwards again, and I don't know. I don't know if he's a player that we can actually keep starting week in, week out, because he isn't doing it at the minute.
Yeah.
Dare I say it, David Moyes' argument, not unreasonably, well, who takes his shirt? Because what's my option? And there isn't one.
No, not really, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, on that
else.
point though, he's off to the African Cup of Nations in January. January, which is of course a month in which there's a window, in which there is a certain Jay Lingard likely to be available for a cut price. I mean, yeah, that'd be the ideal world, wouldn't it? Sullivan would be happy because he's cheap, and Moyes would be happy because he's a good player.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, off goes Ben Rama to the African Cup of Nations, and yeah, if we can get Lingard in early enough, then away we go, and Ben Rama's then back to where he was last season, you know, playing when Lingard isn't.
Okay. Burnley have just been awarded a free kick. Craig Dawson's gone over the top of his man. It's delivered into the penalty box, cleared by West Ham. The ball's put back in, but it's just drifted out harmlessly for a goal kick to West Ham. But, you know, I think West Ham really starting the second half in a similar fashion to how we began the first. You know, Burnley have had 2 shots. West Ham yet to create anything of note in this second half. We've sort of regressed again a little bit. But just wanted to... Gnome's also going to be bringing you some thoughts from the Burnley fans as the second half goes on, hopefully. I just wanted to bring you... Oh, hang on. Mikel Antonio's got the ball out wide. Tries to play it in. It's deflected back to him. He's still got the ball out wide on the right-hand side, going towards the byline. Can he get around his man? Yes, he can. Can he pull it back? No, he can't. And I think that's going to be a goal kick, because I think the ball's come off Antonio last of all. The ball's... Cork's tried to put it out. I think it's come off Antonio, but no, a corner has been given. I'm not sure. I think that might have been a goal kick, but let's just have another look. Mikel Antonio gets to the byline, comes back, tries to pull across. Taylor is who stops the ball from coming back, and it has hit Antonio, but the referee has adjudged that it was over the line already. So Jarrod Bowen with the corner. We'll stick with this for a second. Bowen, can we, a couple of dangerous ones already. Can we get another one here and profit in this? Comes into the near post again, and that went straight into the hands of Nick Pope. And no problem. That comment I wanted to bring quickly from someone called Devil's Advocate on the Burnley forum said, talking about that penalty decision. I thought those big decisions always go against us, he said. Had that been at the other end, you would have been moaning on here. It was a penalty. And had it been one for West Ham, the referee would have definitely given it. So there you go. Which he didn't, which is a bit odd. But anyway, you get the point. The general consensus is indeed that West Ham should have been given it. Pinky, a little bit slow off the mark again this half, aren't we?
Yeah, and you know, we're in danger of sleepwalking into a draw, you know, and it's not enough, because no one's been talking about the African Cup of Nations and Benny going off for that. Liverpool lose at least a couple of players for that competition, and all the while we keep talking about top 4. What's wrong with top 3 as an aspiration? You know, we should be looking to exploit. You know, what hopefully will be Liverpool's relative weakness for what, 3 or 4 weeks, and make up some ground there. You know, I'm absolutely certain that's Conte's plan at Tottenham Hotspur with getting games postponed is wait for the transfer window to open, bring in a couple of centre backs, maybe one other player, and then have 2 or 3 Premier League games in the bag that they can then go and play and hopefully win to move them up the league. If we want to talk about corruption, well, there's some right there, because I don't believe this virus outbreak at Tottenham. Right. I don't believe any professional sporting organisation could be in such disarray. It just can't be.
No,
these are employees.
Earlier on, Pinky, we were talking about toys that were named after footballers and football stuff. What you do forget is that the inventor of the Mickey Mouse watch had Tottenham in mind.
Yeah, I get all that, and whilst we all like to poke fun and etc., these are employees getting paid, you know, upwards of £100,000 a week. You know, as a minimum, as their employer, Tottenham Hotspur have a duty of care towards them as employees. Putting aside all sort of competitive aspects to it, And these are guys here now that, if they have a legitimate COVID outbreak and their staff become seriously ill, that's a massive problem for them. A bigger problem for the players themselves. And how have Tottenham Hotspur allowed themselves to get into a position where so many of their squad are infected? It's an awful, awful situation, unless, of course, they've said, well, wouldn't it be quite handy to have a little outbreak?
Yeah.
I hope they haven't done that. I hope they haven't done that, because that would be a betrayal of their own staff and, frankly, humanity. And that's a good save there by Pope.
It is. It is. West Ham's first shot of the second half. Side but Burnley conceded possession. Arthur Masuaku did really well, actually, to win the ball back. And decent effort. I mean, not really testing Pope, Pinky, but, save's got to be made nonetheless. And Ben Rama, there it is. And we were talking about Ben Rama not being too instrumental so far. And there's his first real contribution of the game. Yeah.
And we need a few more like that in quick succession. Pope is a keeper that just likes punching and just clear the ball out any way he can. I've always preferred keepers that actually cleanly catch the ball, but he's. I just wonder if that little bash he had in the first half is playing on his mind at all. And again, picking up the nose constant half time, I'd actually have Antonio in there roughing him up a bit. I'd go the full Kevin Nolan here, and say, do you know what? He's looking a bit shaky. Yeah, look at him now. He doesn't want to be out there. He's had enough. It's a tough afternoon. Get into him. Yeah, get into him.
He seems to be doing it on corners, doesn't he? He's doing his usual. We're just seeing Declan Rice break into the box. Another run. Can he get it across? He can. He's beaten. Oh, it's almost. Declan Rice has broke into the left-hand side of the box, almost to the byline. Tried to dink one over Pope at the near post. Pope stretched out and just managed to get fingertips to divert the ball over the crossbar. I think Michail Antonio was waiting to convert it at the far post. Can't quite see it from the replay because it's cut away. But West Ham have another corner, and there it is, as Pinky's called for. Michail Antonio standing right in front of Pope. Pope trying to push him in the back, and this is obviously a tried and tested thing at West Ham. Delivered to the near post, cleared again by Burnley, and it's hooked away. West Ham set piece is known, not paying dividends yet so far this afternoon, and maybe because we haven't seen that stat come up on the TV yet.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm still a little behind you, but even more so as it just goes into a stream thing. I'm just watching the replay now. Declan bursting into the box, and we're seeing quite a lot of those. Going on. Declan's getting a lot of. I mean, Declan's not really having to worry about defensive duties, is he?
No, not at all. He's not really neither. Just quickly coming in there, side Ben Rama's got into a very, very similar position to Declan Rice a few moments ago. He's got opportunities to pull it back, and it's a poor ball. Two players waiting to convert. I think Antonio and possibly Lanzini. He could have pulled it back to both and found neither in the end. And we've just seen a shot from West Ham. We cut away from a replay on my stream, so I'm not quite sure what happened. We're just seeing that chance again here. Ben Rama does really well. Picks it up with his back to goal, turns sharply. He's looked to play it back to Antonio, and Soufal is absolutely furious coming in at the back stick. But anyway, Burnley have made a change. It's Wood, interestingly, who's off for the Clarets, and Vidra, who I believe is our Czech boys' international teammate, is on the pitch. Never really thought a lot of Vidra, Pinky. Is he someone that sort of excites you in any way whatsoever, or what's your view?
Never heard of him.
But we were linked with him a few years ago, weren't we? He's a compact little player sort of thing, and not the most prolific of goal scorers, but he does get them. I've just seen the replay there of the Ben Rama thing, and there you had Ben Rama in a nutshell, I think.
Yeah.
The first touch to take it past into space into the box was sublime. It was beautiful. And then the decision making. If ever you wanted to say this is Ben Rama, that's what you'd find on a video dictionary.
Burnley have a corner at the other end anyway. Westwood is lining up to take it from Burnley's left-hand side. Now, I know they quite often put the ball just outside the circle, but that's ridiculous. That's a really dangerous one. And Fabianski's done really well to get a punch on it, even though he's crowded out by 3 or 4 players, and it's a goal kick to free kick to West Ham.
Just find Bowen. I mean, Benny. I'm sorry, but he's done the hard work.
Yeah.
Just find Bowen, and we're a goal up. You've got one job. You've actually carried the ball in. You've done the skillful bit.
Yeah.
Look up, find your own man. It's a basic requisite to find a teammate with the ball. To be a decent player, and he just gets it wrong. And it's just like, for God's sake, how many chances are we going to sacrifice because we're just not quite at the races today? It's disappointing at the minute. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, Sorry, Pinky, go on.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, it's all well and good dominating the game and said, we've had the lion's share of this and all the rest of it, and Rice doesn't have any defensive duties to do. But it's an hour gone. Sean Dyche is looking at this going, only another 30 minutes and mission accomplished.
Well,
we need to do something different because it isn't going to work at this point in time. I can't feel a goal coming. I really can't.
Well, I get the feeling our man might be substituted before too long. Benrahma has just done that thing that he used to do so frustratingly last season, where he's in a really good opportunity to pick a player out 20 yards from goal. He's got players to the left, players to the right, and he's tried to curl one over the keeper, and it's just gone high and wide of the post again. And it's that Benrahma we're seeing today. Which is disappointing. But David Moyes, I think, might have made a decision to make a change because we just saw him chatting to the rest of the bench there. No, I'm a bit disappointing. I guess you've seen that one now from Benny, but just the wrong choice.
Just a second seen it.
Yeah.
Who was it left outside him? As soon as that ball's gone over the bar, he's doing that. Look how much space I've got. Yeah, frustrating. And we thought at the start of this season, Pinky pointed out, we thought that had been coached out of him. We got that decision-making thing. He was getting it right. Uh-huh. And even when it wasn't working for him, I think that even when a decision wasn't going for him, he'd still made the right decision. It just something hadn't come off. But no, that's annoying and disappointing in the extreme. That sort of thing. That's just the first bit. I mean, like that early one, that first bit, that turn. He's got skill. He's he can play. It's just it just needs more of a football brain.
Well, we've just seen him involved again in 2 moments, and just not quite there. But hang on, he's on the ball on the left, plays it down there. That's a better ball. Masuaku into the box. Can he pull it back? It's a cross goal. Oh, and he can't quite find Antonio Taylor. It's the right ball for Masuaku. Plays it pretty much into that corridor of uncertainty from the byline. Better stuff from Benrahma on that occasion. And a really good break from Masuaku. Well-timed pass. Tried to play it across goal to where Antonio would have had a certain tap-in, but good defending by Taylor, who got in between the 2 West Ham players and put it out for a corner. 25 minutes to go. We'll stick with this for a second because West Ham have a corner. It's played short this time. Masuaku plays it back to Lanzini. Lanzini looks to jink inside, gets the crossing, headed up into the air, still not clear. Dawson now has the ball with his back to goal, and it's now out with Diop. Diop plays it back to Soufal. He's going to look to try and get down the channel. Soufal on the right-hand side looks to play it into Diop, and it's a poor ball from Soufal, but Burnley have the ball, but right back in there, third of the pitch at the moment, trying to play it out. Soufal chasing everything, and it's hoofed clear in the end to where Declan Rice wins it, gets it back to Lanzini. Better stuff from West Ham. Can we profit from this? West Ham foot on the ball, keeping hold. Masuaku on the halfway line now. Back to Lanzini, plays it inside to Souček, looking for options. Burnley retreating, now out to Declan Rice, who's on the left wing now. He's absolutely everywhere this afternoon, Declan Rice, playing like a man possessed. Really driving the team on. He's been doing it from the first minute. Masuaku switches the ball out to the right to absolutely nobody, and the ball's actually gone out for a goal kick. But David Moyes is looking a little bit cheesed off on the touchline, as you gents will see in just a moment, and he's looking at his watch, just trying to see if he's asking anyone to warm up. He's pacing up and down, looking rather irritated at the moment. Looks like Burnley are about to make another change anyway. But those 2 chances known by Benrahma, a little bit better for him, but still not quite finding that final ball.
No, it's I think the team as a whole aren't finding a final ball, but
Yeah.
it's more frustrating because he's had more and better opportunities to do so, and obvious ones. It's like, and a lot of the time it's the simple ball that he's, eschewing, if you like. He's not picking,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all very well not seeing a final ball if if it's a difficult one to pick out. But sometimes we've said it's been the easy ball. There's been someone outside, and we just put it back to someone who's held back their run in the box. And it's frustrating for us.
Yeah. 24 minutes left to go. Still Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. Pinky, are we missing Pablo Fornals out there today?
Always the case when you're not doing quite enough. The players that don't play are the ones who say
Sure
they'd have a great game.
Yep, and, fair point.
Whether it's Pablo Fornals, I mean, dare I say it, whether it's an Andrea Yarmolenko, whether it's a Vlasic, we need somebody to do something that just puts that final cherry on the bakewell. Because, we're getting in and around their box plenty. Rice is pouring forward the ball every time he gets in possession.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting in behind him. We're getting crosses in. But Burnley have got this knack of always having a defender in the way. Kel Surprise with Sean Dyche as the manager. There's a shock, isn't it? They're going to run all afternoon and block stuff. No one would ever expect that from Burnley, would they? So I just think we lack a bit of guile, a bit of subtlety. And whether Fornals is the man to bring us that, I don't know. But this really does expose the limitations of our squad. It really has this afternoon, because this is a hard-working, functional, but very basic Burnley team who will be happy to keep it like this to the 89th minute, go and win a corner kick, and then put Pope up there and say, go and score a goal, Pope. And Dyche would say, well, that was our plan and it worked to perfection. And the Burnley support would go home great. We're near another season of watching big clubs like West Ham and dare I say it, Norwich. You know what I mean?
Well, it looks like that guile that change is going to be coming soon, and that Moyes is going to be looking for that guile and input from Niko Vlasic, who's warming up now. Looks like he's coming on, but we'll just stick with this for a minute because Thomas Souček's got the ball 20 yards from goal, plays it out left to Lanzini. Lanzini plays it back to Arthur Masuaku, who's just done a complete Arthur Masuaku, a piece of sublime skill before instantly giving the ball away. Masuaku special there, but West Ham in possession. Soufal now out on the right. He's coming backwards, jogging back, looks to go inside, looking for options. What's he got? Nothing. He's still carrying the ball. Plays it out left to Masuaku. Masuaku's got Lanzini out on the left wing, who he finds. Lanzini coming in towards the box. He's going to play it back to Masuaku. Here it is. Masuaku back out left to Benrahma. He's going to switch it onto his right foot, try and get it in, but plays a short pass. West Ham probing yet again, but not giving away possession unnecessarily. The ball played in the centre to Antonio. Antonio retains possession outright. Bowen, this is promising. Bowen into the box, cuts it back to Antonio. 4 men ahead of him. There's that frustration all over again. Mikhail Antonio. Well, look, I look forward to your reactions. I expect they'll be similar. Antonio's just tried his luck from outside the box. It's never an opportunity to shoot, and it's high and wide, and it's a complete waste. And it's really disappointing after some good possession. Niko Vlasic is coming on now.
Yeah,
Benrahma going off, by the way.
Yeah,
Benrahma, yeah.
Okay. I'm still waiting to catch up with you from the promising position that we're in.
It's a really promising move from West Ham, but just a waste at the end of it.
Oh, yeah. Stuff and nonsense, wasn't it?
Yeah, disappointing. Niko Vlasic is on. I think that's Brownhill coming on for Westwood. For Burnley, their second change of the afternoon. And Vlasic on for Benrahma. And we've been waiting for a performance from Vlasic. Is this the afternoon he finally turns it on?
I hope so. I hope so. I thought he suffered the other night a little bit by having to do a lot of covering for the clearly disinterested Yarmolenko, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so gets his reward anyway by getting on. And Yeah, so let's see. Brown Hill on for Westwood. Did you mention that one? You probably did, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've just seen Declan Rice, another surging run into the box on the left-hand side. It's a better delivery, plays it low and across the box, but it's too far ahead of any player in a dark blue shirt, I think. And let's just have a look. Is that Vlasic coming in at the far post, or is it Bone? No, I think it's and yeah, tell me what you think of this one, gents, because I'm looking at this chance where Rice gets into the box, plays it across. Now, if you've got a top-class striker in your team, I think they're gambling at this point and they're making a run, trying to anticipate that ball coming in at the far post. Pinky, have a look at that in a second because it'll be coming up for you right about now, and just let me know what you think of that anyway.
Yeah, we'll do. I mean, I've just going to comment on the Antonio error of judgment. We're calling Benny out for exactly that sort of thing, and I'll do the same for Mikael.
Exactly the same, wasn't it?
You know, but it's a sign of a tired mind as well as tired legs. You know, it's a player that's played too many games this season because the manager has no alternative. And once they start running out of ideas, they take easy, lazy options. And they all do it. They all do it pretty much. Benny more than most. But what Antonio did there was the classic. I think I'm about to start to see what you're referring to, because I can see Rice falling forward down the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. A natural striker makes the run, gets a toe on the end of that and guides it at least goal bound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got
Someone
two in
gambles.
the box, both holding back there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Just need someone to take a you know, as Pinky says, take a gamble and just see what happens. But anyway, back live with the game. 72.5 minutes gone. Still Burnley nil, West Ham United nil. West Ham have a free kick. Declan Rice losing a shoe after a pretty cynical foul, no booking. And Lucas Fabianski is going to take this kick. We're getting to run out of time a bit, Noam. We not desperate yet. There's still sort of 17 minutes plus added time, but we need a bit of magic from somewhere.
Yeah, I've got 18. We've got even more time than that. It's only 18 minutes left.
Yes.
But
I can tell you don't score in the next 40 seconds anyway.
But I mean, we just saw Rice again, and again, they've suddenly twigged that Rice is picking up the ball deep in defence and going on these 30, 40, 50, 60-yard runs.
Yeah.
So on that occasion, they decided to terminate the run after 2 yards. But I think we Rice might see a bit more of that sort of cynicism.
Yes, they're definitely finally twigged that he's been driving West Ham forward throughout the game. But as it stands, Burnley have a free kick about 40 yards from goal. It's lofted into the box. This one could be dangerous. Diop beaten to the ball. But Fabianski's done well to clutch it. It was Tarkowski who got up to win the header, and Fabianski launches it long, looking for Bowen. It's a brilliant kick, actually. Bowen's picked it up now. Can he run at his man? Bowen one-on-one against his man out wide on the right, and plays it out to Lanzini. Lanzini just to the right of the penalty box. Can he get a cross in? Lanzini comes back, looks for options, plays it across goal. This could be dangerous. Poor first touch from Vlasic, I think, and he's managed to keep the ball, plays it out to Masuaku, down the line again on the left-hand side to Vlasic. Vlasic turns inside, tries to put delivery across. It's a good delivery, but easily dealt with again by Burnley. And Pinky, they've dealt with everything we've thrown at them with consummate ease, haven't they, really, so far? We're just seeing Burnley counter at the other end, but West Ham have done well. Yeah, it's just not been good enough, has it, Pinky, from West Ham? That final touch has just been missing this afternoon.
Yeah, subtlety is what's required.
Yes.
Burnley are going to be able to defend. It's what they do. They get plenty of practice. This is not a team that plays free-flowing, attacking, total football. This is a team that Sean Dyche says, right, lads, we start with a point, so let's make sure we hang on to that at least. And that's where they build from, is the back. They're well organised. Their players do track back. They will actually get on the end of the balls that are launched across the box, and it'll be a Burnley player there to greet it rather than a West Ham one. We need to get footballers in and around the edge of the box, and just put a bit of pressure on them, sustained pressure, and force the error. Just force the error, and just get a foot inside the box, move the ball quickly, and force a penalty kick. Because Burnley will defend like this all day long, and say, do you know what? Yeah, this is training ground stuff at this for us. This is exactly what Sean Dyche would want, because we've got, what, quarter of an hour left. Burnley can say, great, we only need one chance, and it doesn't matter whether it comes in the 92nd minute or the second minute. As long as we take it, we'll take the points. And I feel a mugging coming here now. I really do.
Well, actually, Hobo's just written almost exactly that on the live chat, saying that this has got a late catastrophe writ large. We've just seen another free kick for Burnley. McNeil's taken it almost identical position as the last one. And it's just drifted harmlessly from out behind the goal for a goal kick to West Ham. But the home side back in possession now, 76 minutes on the clock. West Ham pen deep in their own half at the moment as Burnley play the ball through the centre. It's played short. Good chance for a shooting opportunity here for Vidra. But it's well blocked by West Ham by Dawson, I think it was. And Fabianski just puts the ball out into the touch. No, let's have a quick word about our central defensive pairing today. The first time they played together in the Premier League, I think, this season. What do you make of Diop and Dawson as a unit there so far?
How to put it, sterner tests are to come. So I think they've acquitted themselves okay. We still got, what do we say, 16, 17, 15, whatever minutes is left in real time. They've got to concentrate for the whole 90 plus whatever. I'm just watching Burnley have a shot from the edge of the box there, and they've closed it down nicely, and we go again. So, they've acquitted themselves. Okay. I mean, what really is annoying for me is that we said it at half time, you've got two Burnley defenders on yellow cards, and we've not put them under any pressure.
Hang on. Antonio's sorry, no, I thought we were in. Antonio's gone through, but he's been pulled up for a push in the back of me. It looked like we was away on goal. My apologies. Please carry on.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, if he's sort of tangling with me, that's a good sign. It's something that we haven't been sort of putting me and Taylor under pressure at all. And but okay, he's given a foul away on that occasion. But I want to see more of that. I want to see more of him making an instance of himself. Same with Bowen. Well, that's one of those ones that Mees felt some breath on his back, hasn't he? And he's definitely going down.
Yeah.
So.
It was. It didn't look that bad at first, but Pablo Fornals is coming on anyway. He's receiving instructions from Kevin Nolan on the bench. Who do we reckon is going to be coming off here, Pinky?
Ooh. You'd have to say Lanzini.
Yeah.
Lanzini would be the likely.
Right. You can't see Antonio. And we've just seen Vlasic very, very close to getting in. He's got on the end of a flicked header from a Fabianski goal kick, and Tarkowski's done really well. Of course, that man that West Ham have been linked with for so long now, done very well to come across and just keep Vlasic at bay. We're not making that change yet. We're just approaching the last 10 minutes. West Ham have the ball deep in our own half at the moment, but it looks like the second man. So would you go along with that name, Lanzini? You think likely to be the player replaced here?
Possibly. Sorry, I'm just seeing something go on there that I'm still a little bit behind you. So it's possibly Lanzini. I'm just trying to think of any alternatives if it's Fornals. There probably isn't anyone else really you could bring off for him, I'd have thought.
Yeah, I can confirm it's Lanzini. He's coming off now with exactly 80 minutes on the clock. So Fornals on for Lanzini. West Ham second change of the game now.
Yeah. So okay, fair enough. I mean, Lanzini hasn't played a full 90 in. Has he? I mean, in a while, has he? As far as I remember.
Yeah.
Did he play the full 90 against Man City?
Quite possibly. Can't remember.
Yeah, I mean,
let's have a look at the stats.
He's not played too many full 90s anyway.
No, that's fair to say. We can say that with some authority. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been a bit out of the game the last 10, 15 minutes, I suppose. So, it comes off, and it's this sort of almost identical facial hair sort of comes back on. It's almost like they take the beard off one player and gives it the sub cover on.
Declan Rice tries to put a long ball forward for Antonio. And this is another thing. I mean, Mickey Antonio's sole striker's role. There's 2 or 3 times I've seen, not often, because we're obviously keeping the ball and trying to work it into the box, but 2 or 3 times we've tried that first time long ball over the top. Each and every occasion, Pinky, I've seen, we've tried it. Mikel Antonio started from a position where he's about 5 to 10 yards behind the last man. And of course, by the time the ball's played over the top, he's well beaten, hasn't got a chance of getting on the end of it.
Yeah.
But hang on, as I speak, here forget that. Antonio running at goal, running up against his man and just concedes possession. So, we were talking earlier, weren't we, about the strikers not gambling or the forward players not gambling. I mean, do we feel maybe that Mikel Antonio should be, a bit more direct, playing a bit more forward up against, the back line?
I don't know. I mean, we keep coming back to the same thing with Antonio. He's not a striker. He's a powerful, wide player.
Yeah,
we've moved into a striker's role.
Mm-hmm.
And do we expect too much from him? Because he's all we've got. Ultimately, if we had a proper option on the bench, how many weeks would it be before we were seeing calls for him not to be on the bench, but for Antonio to be on the bench? And he had a purple patch at the start of the season, banged in loads of goals, was playing with real confidence. But, other than the second half against, I think it was Chelsea, he's looked out of sorts for about a month, and he needs a rest. So whether it's the ball over the top, being more direct, or having a bit more composure in and around the box, I'm not so sure. But it's just the fact that it is only him. He is our only option. And I don't think any football club wants to put itself in a position where they're so utterly dependent on just one player. This is nonsense now where we are with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seemed a bit like this game, a bit like West Ham being dependent on one player.
It's
sorry, Pinky, you're cutting out. Are you still with us? Have we got you?
That's
not sure, but we'll come back to Pinky in just a moment.
Fair play to Burnley, you see. What you're looking at there is you play on these 2 jerseys. Has to turn back and face and
sorry, it looks like we've lost Pinky just there. We've just seen Declan Rice. Sorry, Pinky, we got you back now. We lost you for a bit there. Niko Vlasic has done well inside the box on the right-hand side. He's pulled it back to Declan Rice, who just rolls it in front of him with the underside of his foot and then tries his luck trying to hit the top left-hand corner. It's not far wide. Pope is stretching, but I think he's got it well covered, and it just tips the back stanchion at the end of the goal on the wrong side for West Ham. And it's another chance gone begging. But no, I'm not sure I can recall a time when I've seen us try to shoot so often from outside the box. Is that a specific tactic, do you think, or is this just frustration because we can't work chances inside the area because Burnley have been very well drilled today?
Bit of both. I've got no problems with shots from outside the box at the right time, and I think this particular one we're seeing was the right thing to do. He teed himself up, and it really wasn't all that far over. Yeah. But you then get the one like Antonio had earlier on, where we'd had a lot of sustained pressure, a lot of passes, and Antonio just ran out of any idea of what to do with it. So he thought he may as well have a shot. And, with sadly particularly woeful results. So, it's a bit of both.
Okay. I
don't think we've been as, sort of frustrated as much as you might think with that, because we haven't had. I mean, we've had a few shots from outside the box, but not that many. I'm trying to struggle to remember a load.
Well, no, I mean, there was Ben Ramas and Rice has tried his luck before. Lanzini, I think, had one, didn't he, at the start as well? But I can tell you anyway, coming back live, we've won a corner. West Ham building down the left-hand side. Michael Antonio in the box. Yet again, Burnley 7 or 8 players inside the box, meaning that Antonio couldn't find anyone in front of goal. He's just cannoned off a defender. He's attempted cross and gone out behind for a goal kick. Pablo Fornals is going to take this from the same side that he created the goal against Liverpool. Couple of weeks back, swings it in, looks for the near post, but yet again it fails to beat the first Burnley defender. On this occasion, it's the number 2 Lowton who gets it, but West Ham have a throw in on the other side. Bowen takes it quickly to Antonio with his back to goal to the right, turns. Can he get across? No, he can't. It's blocked again, and it's played out for West Ham. Pinky, you know, I mean, we're a little bit disappointed with West Ham's, you know, attacking prowess. I think we've got to be fair here and give Burnley a certain amount of credit here. I mean, you mentioned it. You know, you said that Sean Dyche would have been very happy with a point this afternoon. And, you know, give them their credit. They've been absolutely, you know, inept at the other end of the field, really. But, you know, defensively, they've not really given us a sniff, have they?
Sean Dyche won't be at all worried that they haven't looked like scoring if they play for another year. Yeah, I'm quite certain today's brief to his team would be, get a point, lads. Just get a point. You know, and because we all talk about leagues and mini leagues and your immediate, you know, battles that you got to win. You know, really simple. Stay in the Premier League. Yeah, and he knows it. To keep them in this league, and I've no doubt at all today he'd have said keep it as tight as you can for as long as you can, and if that means...
Well, here's their chance. Oh, sorry, Pink, we've just lost you there. You've frozen. But exactly what you were saying has just happened. They've broken from West Ham's corner. Chance to get into the box. I'm not sure who made the challenge there. No, perhaps you can pick up on that one in a few seconds. Let me know who it was. Might have been Dawson who makes the challenge. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's Declan Rice, actually. I mean, he's absolutely everywhere today, isn't he? I know we say this every week. It's Vidra who's tried to turn. In fact, Rice hasn't even had to make a challenge there, has he? You know, Vidra's just fallen over. But there's the chance Pinky was talking about. You know, they've here we are. What are we in? 88th minute, and you know they thought they might be in there. And to be fair, I was you know a bit nervous too at that point.
Yeah, I've just seen it now. Considering 2 seconds ago it was up the other end. That's great defending from Rice, actually. I mean, he hasn't had to put in the challenge, but if he hadn't been there, we'd have been in trouble. They're just showing the slow-mo of it now, and, you know, that's brilliant. Rice, he's just got himself in the right position, and, you know, he's had a fine game today, as Declan. In fact, yeah, he's probably head and shoulders above everybody else on or off the pitch there, on the bench and everything. He's you know, he's the one bit of class.
Well, we've just seen a shocking challenge on Arthur Masuaku from Lowton, and yet again we've not seen, or even on my stream, I've not seen indication that he was booked for it. But it was a terribly high challenge, and I'd be very surprised if he wasn't. But I've not seen. I didn't see. Well, hang on. Burnley are in trouble here. Issa Diop's come out for the ball and he's missed it completely. The ball's out on the left. Burnley looking into the penalty box, played down the left. It's going to come across near post. Oh! And that, my friends, is the closest Burnley have come to scoring yet. Here we are in the 90th minute. Pinky, you were almost right. You were so close. Taylor's escaped down the left-hand side, put a low ball right across the area. Issa Diop's come out, committed himself. His first blunder of the match. It could have been, you know, catastrophic, but in the end the ball's come across. And who is that at the near post try? I think, is that Rodriguez? Yes, Rodriguez has tried to flick it on at the near post. All you need to do is get a touch on there, Pinky, as you'll see in a minute, and it's in the back of the net. But fortunately for West Ham, he's missed it, and the Hammers live to breathe again. 0-0 still, 90 minutes gone.
Yeah, but I've just seen the assassination attempt on Arthur Mess.
How is Lowton on the pitch?
That's all you can describe it as. That's not, you know, that's an assassination attempt. Be no doubt, it's a shocking tackle of no card, no card whatsoever. I've yet to see the Burnley effort of goal. You there, lads?
Yeah,
We're
still
here.
here.
We're here. We can hear you. Yeah, you're in and out. You're
Nope, I've
freezing
lost you.
occasionally, but we've got you. We've got you for the moment.
I suspect it's coming now. Burnley go
I'm
forward.
just stunned at this refereeing. How is Lowton still on the pitch?
Yeah, it was a bit
At the
naughty.
very least, that's his second yellow card offence, and arguably that was a red. It's just, it's just active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back live, Jarrod Bowen's just had a chance for West Ham. We're in the first of 3 minutes added on at the end of the match. West Ham have played the ball outright to Bowen, who's turned to the left of the penalty box. He's tried his luck from just inside the box, and Pope has come across really well to make a good save. It's a tough angle for Bowen, quite acute, but might have just been slipping inside the post, but Pope's got up and pushed it around the post. West Ham have a corner. Come on, we need a set piece. Comes over. Fornells takes it. The 3 or 4 go up yet again. Burnley are first to the ball. And it's clear West Ham set pieces now just not paying off today.
We're kind of playing it their hands a little bit, aren't we? I'm just seeing the Bowen chance here, and good save. Again, shot from distance, but at the right time. I think it's in the box sort of thing. Just got into the box, and definite worth a go there. But yeah, I mean, you're saying set pieces. Mate, I was creeping in. I think I was just going to shade the inside the post. I think. But yeah, we're kind of. Mind you, I said that one. We did get on the end of that one a little bit, and
well, you're going to enjoy this talking about referees, because Craig Dawson has just picked up a booking for running into the back of Neil Pope and dislodging the ball from his arm just as Pope was about to throw it out. And given what Pinky described it as an assault on Arthur Masuaku some moments ago, given what happened there, that's quite remarkable.
And kicking someone up in the air isn't, somebody from PGMOL should be out there saying, this is why that referee had a bad performance. And has he touched it?
There's not much in it, is there? West Ham breaking. This could be our last chance. Out on the left-hand side. Fornells cuts back in. Declan Rice yet again on the edge of the box. Plays in. Bowen's got away. Can Bowen turn and shoot? Bowen, Souček, come on, son! Ah! Souček on target, but it's taken a deflection off a Burnley defender. I think it was goal bound. I think it was going to be nestling in the top corner if the defender hadn't got in the way. Let's see who it is. Souček tries his luck. It's really good defending. Tarkowski and both of them have come across the front of him. I'm trying to see the number. It's number 3. I think it's Taylor. But West Ham, no time for the corner. The final whistle was blown at Turf Moor, and it's finished Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. And of course, we will come back to it at some point, but the big talking point of this game is going to be quite clearly the first half decision not to award West Ham a penalty when Dawson was clearly tripped by McNeil in the penalty area. Let's get the chaps' first initial thoughts at the end of full time. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. Pinky, I'll come to you first. 2 points dropped or 1 gained? I think Pinky's frozen. We can't.
2 dropped. No doubt about it. Look,
sorry, Pinky, we've got you back now. I can hear you. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's dropped. No question about it. Burnley are where they are on the table for a reason. We're where we are on the table for a reason, and we've not exploited the gap in the teams today. We lacked guile. We lacked subtlety. We played into their hands. Chucking cross after cross, whatever it is, for me and Tarkowski to deal with all afternoon, whether that's from a set piece or open play. That's meat and drink to them. They'll deal with that all day long, because if you want to know what a football player is doing all day, I can promise you at Burnley, they'll defend corners. They'll practice defending corners all day long, because Sean Dyche will say, set pieces is very dangerous. He'll have all the stats. And he'll say, if you stop West Ham scoring from a corner kick, that's half the battle won. And he's right, because how many of our goals come from set plays, and a not insignificant number. So for me today, 2 points dropped, but, and there's always a but, given the run of fixtures, given the squad limitations, this is what we're going to see. And it's absolutely why the chairman and the investors, the new investors, have got to dig deep and find enough money for just a couple of players. Just to freshen the squad up, whether that's Lingard, whether it's somebody else, and I suspect a centre-back will be further up the list of priorities now than another kind of attacking player.
Yeah, for sure.
But you look who's going to be pushing for that third or fourth spot. Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal, Manchester United and West Ham. Who has got the least financial muscle in that group? And traditionally, you say it'd be us. Currently, I'm not sure it is, unless we choose to make it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're serious about a top 4 spot, this is the season. Eventually, Arsenal or Man United are going to get their act together. And then you say, well, the top 4's a closed shop again. So, that's where we are. And even, and I'm not joking on this, even Andy Carroll is walking out now. So I've had Andy Carroll, I'm not joking, I've Andy Carroll sat 3 yards away from me all afternoon. Not the Andy Carroll you all know, but Andy Carroll, who actually drinks in my local pub.
So the Andy Carroll we all know then.
Well, indeed, yes. So, but they've just put 16 attempts, 3 on target, 59% possession. So, but it's the 3 on target. 3 on target against Burnley is not enough. Mm-hmm. And, because they're a better defensive team than that. And you probably need 8 or 9 on target against Burnley to get one of the damn things in the net. So disappointing for me today for West Ham, but not surprising. We're just running out of legs at the crucial time of the year.
Yeah, very much so. West Ham, of course, stay 4th in the Premier League, move a point ahead of Manchester United with 28 points, but now an 8-point gap between the Hammers and Chelsea in 3rd, and the chasing pack is getting ever closer. Man United 27, Arsenal, who we play next, will be coming to that shortly with 26. Tottenham with 2 games in hand, just 3 points behind West Ham now on 25, and Leicester, having smashed Newcastle 4-0 today, back up to 22 points. It's getting closer. Noam, we'll come to the penalty again in just a minute, but your general thoughts on what you saw today. Pinky felt it was 2 points dropped as opposed to 1 game. Is that your view?
Yeah, you'd have to go with that. That one sort of across the face of the goal apart. I'm struggling to remember Burnley creating anything at all, really. I mean, you'll probably remind me, but
no, I think you're right. I mean, they had 1 shot on target in the entire game, which I can't remember that.
It was like, it was almost like, it was a bit confusing because they're being claret and blue, but it was like they were the away team.
Yeah,
who'd come to try and get a point out of, a better team's home ground, and that's exactly what it looked like. I mean, they're happy with picking up the odd point here and there as long as they can pick up a few more points than teams that are worse than them. It's a horrible thing I have to sit and watch every week, and I'm bloody glad I don't have to watch them every week anyway.
For sure.
But 2 points dropped. We lost. We played it in their hands with the crosses, as Pinky quite rightly said. Where we were good and what we did, what Declan proved was that they really weren't very good with players running at them.
Yes.
So why only Declan tweak that? Lord alone knows. Especially as we said time and time again, you've got 2 players on yellows. You've got another player who apparently is allowed 4 before he gets a single yellow. And if you run at them, who knows what's going to happen? Declan did it. Why didn't Antonio? Why didn't Ben Rama did to a certain degree? But Ben Rama then when he did get in a promising decision making, forget it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Having said that, I mean, again, I suppose if we're looking for something to smile about, you go back over the last 2 years, it's shows how far we have progressed in the last couple of years that we're moaning about only getting a point away from home.
Yeah, no, this is a fair point, especially at Burnley, which hasn't always been a happy hunting ground for us, over the years. So, that's a very, very salient point you make there. Pinky, Southampton, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Wolves, Burnley. What have they got in common? All teams that West Ham have failed to beat in the Premier League thus far this season. Southampton, Palace and Burnley holding us to a point, defeats to Brentford and Wolves. Are these the games that are going to cost us a top 4 or even potentially a top 6 spot?
Yes. In a word, yes, because I spoke about it earlier. There are teams you've got to put to the sword if you have the aspirations to finish in the right end of the table, because they're the teams that do finish in the top 4 beat with monotonous regularity. Our inability to do so. But we love beating Chelsea. We love giving the so-called top teams a spanking. It's great fun, and we all go home or to the pub and go ho ho ho. Yeah, even if it's August. But if you want to get in that top 4, it's you're back to the 2 points a game scenario. Yeah, that's what you're going to do. The Allardyce formula for getting out the Championship. It's kind of like you want to get in the top 4, you need 2 points a game. That means you've got to be beating some teams home and away. You just have to do it. And the clubs you mentioned, they're the clubs. And for us, I just wonder if it's back to this mental fragility whereby we are not hard enough, we're not seasoned enough to say, go beat them. Go beat them. It's almost as if we still see them as our peer group rather than believing our peer group now is that are those other teams in and around the top half a dozen places. Yeah. It's almost as if we're confirming we don't belong. We should always tug our forelock, doff our cap, and the way we're going to do that is keep actually dropping points to. I mean, Southampton have been poor this season. Let's not kid ourselves.
Palace.
Brentford, Palace. They've got a rookie manager. They've got one really good player on loan from Chelsea that's doing it for them. But other than that, you look at those, and I thought, when we'd slaughtered Newcastle the opening day of the season, I thought maybe some of that was going. But now what we've got is everyone's slaughtering Newcastle. Yes. In fact, it's a club that probably needs to get used to a bit of slaughter. Eddie Howe must be quaking in his boots unless results improve. It's everyone's going to beat Newcastle now because Newcastle now are relegation fodder. Yeah, which we'll all look forward to.
Yes, I think we would.
And the implications for that, though, I mean, that's a bad defeat for Newcastle today, because when the transfer window opens up, regardless of the amount of money that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia choose to throw at their football project, which players are actually going to go there? Because who wants to play in the English Championship? Not many players. Not the players that are going to actually win you league titles. That's for sure.
No, absolutely. I mean, but the thing is, I'm talking about Newcastle as we are for just a moment. I mean, there's still only 3 points adrift of safety. Burnley move above them now with that point, but Watford 17th, still 13 points. It looks like it's very much developing into a 4-horse race, doesn't it? At the bottom, Southampton 5 clear of the relegation zone now, given that Burnley point. But I think we'll all be rejoicing if we're spared the threat of Newcastle and all those petrodollars, for a season or two at least, anyway. But no, Pinky just made the point there about the importance of of trying to maintain that 2 points a game average. Does this really put pressure on West Ham again? I mean, the defeat of Wolves put pressure on us, didn't it, for the Chelsea game? Is this the same scenario now with the Arsenal derby coming up next week?
I think the Arsenal game will be slightly different insofar as much as we sort of played into Burnley's hands today, the way Arsenal will be playing a lot more on the front foot will be playing more into our hands, because where we have done well this season is we've been good on the break and on the counter attack. And so, I mean, it's a bit of irony, really, but well, not irony, but counterintuitive, perhaps, to say that we might be more likely to get a result at Arsenal than Burnley, because Arsenal won't be there for a draw. The Arsenal of old many years ago, that one remembers well before Wenger was that was their stock in trade. we've got the draw. Let's see if we can add anything more to it. Fine, but yeah, that they're a different beast these days, and so I think it'll be more. It'll be more of a more to our advantage. That I think coming up. So
okay,
but that's the problem. We're in the top four. We're in there, as Pinky always says, and quite rightly so. We're in there on merit. So what you've got to do is, when you get there on merit, you've got to be able to dictate and dominate and put them to the sword.
Yeah.
Because Burnley fans may love the way they play. For all I know, it takes all sorts, but they're not here for for our benefit. They're struggling, so every point is vital for them.
Yeah.
So it's not for them to come out and play, even though tedious though it must be to watch.
Yeah.
But if they were at the other end of the table, then maybe you'd have more of an attacking threat from them. But
okay.
I'm quite looking forward to Wednesday night.
Okay, well, we'll come to that one in just a bit, but let's just return to today's game briefly, if we may. Not a great deal to talk about. Someone's made the point that they feel sorry for whoever the match of the day editor is, trying to pick the highlights out of what we saw there in that game this afternoon. Not too much excitement for anyone tuning into the BBC later on this evening. But West Ham did have the best of the chances. West Ham had the only chances, I think it's fair to say. Ben Rama forced a good save from Pope on 55 minutes, which he tipped wide. Ben Rama very quiet again today, but did at least get that one on target. A few minutes later, he curled a shot high and wide. Antonio did the same. We saw Vlasic come on for Ben Rama. And then West Ham had a couple of chances right near the end, Pinky, didn't they? Declan Rice, who was, just a colossus this afternoon, everywhere. It kind of reminded me, actually, a bit of one of those old Bobby Moore matches. If you watched, like, the 64 FA Cup final or the Cup Winners' Cup final, you watch how Bobby Moore plays in those games, and he's absolutely everywhere. Left wing, left half, inside left, almost centre forward. And Rice's performance today kind of reminded me of that. He was the most potent threat we had in attack, and he was the best defender we had, I think, at times on the pitch. But he tried his luck from just outside the box, which was just over 6 minutes to go. And of course, a couple of chances right at the end. Jared Bowen, we thought, might have just won the game, but Pope did really well to tip that shot wide. And then Souček, given a great opportunity. It looked like he was going to hit the target, didn't it? But really well closed down by Burnley. But, could we, Pinky, say we were a little bit fortunate at the end? I mean, you called it. 89 minutes, Burnley get an opportunity to break. It's exactly what happened. Went down the left, the cross come over from Lowton, and was it Rodriguez? I think it was Rodriguez who got a touch on it, or was it Vidra? I think it was Rodriguez, but so close. Could have ended up in the net, and West Ham could be looking at no points tonight.
Has he gone?
No,
absolutely. And
okay,
Sean Dyche gone again.
Yeah, we can. You're just cutting out. I'll let you know when you. I think we've got you again. You're moving again. We can hear you, but you're frozen. Can you hear us? I think we've lost Pinky again. Pinky's going to have to chip off pretty soon, so hopefully we can get him back on in just a moment. No, I'll throw that one over to you. West Ham. Oh, okay. No,
so professional, aren't we?
It's still a better stream than you get from the London
now.
Stadium. Pinky, we've got you quickly before we lose you again. Were we a bit lucky at the end there to survive?
Okay. Yeah, because ultimately Burnley came closer to delivering their manager's game plan than we came to delivering our manager's game plan.
Yeah.
And Burnley, I called it all afternoon. They're happy to keep it tight to the 90th minute and then just take their one chance. Mm-hmm. And for the Burnley faithful at Turf Moor, they're used to watching that. Is trademark Dyche. So yeah, I think we were a bit fortunate. But before we beat ourselves up too much, we were denied a stonewall penalty. No question about it. We played all the football this afternoon. The one concern I've got is we can't get three players clicking at the same time at the minute. The early part of the season, we had 3 or 4 players on fire. Now what we've got is Declan Rice every single week looking head, shoulders, and torso. So we're back to Newcastle again, aren't we?
Yes.
Above every other player on the field, and you know, I mean, he had the freedom of Turf Moor this afternoon to do what the hell he liked, because they were offering no attacking threat whatsoever. So he could pop up wherever he wanted to, and any player, but certainly a player of his caliber, is going to look good given that amount of freedom. But who was case of start contributing more than
we seem to have lost Pinky again, and I know as soon as I say this, he's going to come back on. Yeah, we've lost you again, Pinky. No, this isn't going very well, is it, this afternoon?
Splendidly well. I'm enjoying it.
Well, Pinky, we've lost you. If you come back, I'll let you know. But you have disappeared. You've frozen on our stream, and we haven't got your voice at the moment. So we'll come back to you if we can. Let's move on to. Come on then, Noam. Let's do it. Let's do it once. Pinky, we've got you back. I know you've got to go soon, so let's just go back to that moment in the first half. 33rd minute, ball played across the area. Craig Dawson shields the ball from going out. Taylor comes straight through him. Have we figured out any reason yet why both referee Graham Scott and VAR failed to award a spot kick to West Ham? Known first.
Scott may have an excuse in that he didn't see it. I'd like to see his positioning for that. VAR, there's absolutely no excuse. They've deliberately not awarded something so that his mate doesn't look bad. That's the only excuse, I don't think. The only reason for not giving that as a penalty was because you didn't want to give a penalty. You know, there's no legal football reason why that isn't a penalty. You know, there's another agenda. It's the only reason. I think we've lost Pinky permanently now. So
yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah.
If we can get him back, we will. But I know he had to shoot off anyway. But yeah, I mean, and it's not the first time, is it? I mean, David Moyes was apoplectic, you know, previously with the, you know, decisions that have gone against us. And, you know, perhaps earlier in the season, we were getting the rub of the green a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
I'm just very annoyed. I mean, I've looked at the refereeing this weekend.
Yeah.
And you've seen Salah go down like a sack of spuds when he's instigated the contact. And PGMOL and the authorities said, yeah, we're actually going to apply the laws of the game properly in future. So none of this, if there's contact, it's good enough to go down. That's never been the law of the game.
Yeah.
It's only ever been something spouted by people defending Liverpool. Oh, he's got the right to go down if he feels a touch. That's never been the law of the game, but you repeat it often enough and you know, they'll carry on with it. They've said no. They said, start the season, we're going to do it properly. Great. Yeah. And then we saw Liverpool. That was about the third or fourth dive in the box that Liverpool got away with. And you know, if they go in the box, they throw themselves to the floor, and eventually the ref will give one. And yet we get something like that that's stonewall, that's so blatant, and nothing happens. Well, you know, is it any wonder that people are sort of thinking, well, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm going to go and throw myself to the floor in the box.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the you know, the concern, isn't it? That if people are being rewarded for doing that, then you can understand to a degree why they're doing it. We're talking about vast sums of money involved here. And
Salah does it all the time. This is not something that's an official secret or anything. You only see the one he did against us.
Yeah.
You know, no contact. Oh, there's somebody near me. I'll throw himself and see what happened. They score. And it's like, well, you know, what are you doing about it, officials? Yeah, because the only reason they're doing it is that they've gotten away with it for so long. Because you've been complicit in saying, oh, yeah, well, there was a bit of contact. I'll give that.
Yeah.
You know that's not the law of the game. You've turned down and said so to start this season. Why are you not playing the laws of the game? It's just been it's been a dreadful refereeing weekend anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, and what part of that's annoying enough, and it's frustrating for supporters and players and management alike. But what really gets my goat is that it seems to be there's this sort of strange case of omerta, the old mafia code of silence, on this in proper media. I mean, me and you, we're talking quite openly about it, fine, but we're an independent website. What you want to see is somebody sort of looking at this in a proper newspaper. I mean, not comic, not the Sun or the Star, but someone in the Times sort of coming out and saying,
why?
Refereeing standards that aren't very good. We didn't have any referees at the last World Cup because none of them were good enough. And instead of saying, oh well, there's reasons for that because we didn't have our best referees are too old, or no, it's somebody should be looking at this and saying, why are the standards so poor?
Yeah,
and I've bored the pants off everyone enough by putting forward my theories about the fact that there's no incentive for refereeing standards to improve. Mm-hmm. But that's me. I'm a supporter. I'm a supporter who chips into an independent website. Where's the journalist? It's all very well Gary Lineker saying, oh, last night, they came up with the excuse they couldn't find a conclusive angle. It took us 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But then why is nobody carrying that forward? Because every week Gary Lineker will come on and say, oh, it's taken us, well, we think you got that one wrong. Oh, that's funny, isn't it? And then go up next week. Why is nobody saying, hang on a second, every week we're turning around and saying this? Surely that should say something to someone. Why is everyone looking the other way?
Indeed. For those of you that haven't seen it, there it is. That's the foul on Dawson that we've been talking about. Dawson trying to shield the ball there, just being upended. And you knew it, didn't you? Know as soon as as soon as it happened that Taylor knew he was guilty, because
Taylor's gone
said about how he put the hands up in the air, and that's essentially an admission of guilt, isn't it?
In fact, it wasn't sort of, oh, I didn't touch him. He put his hands on his head like, what have I done? And then went like that. Even worse. It was, what have I done? It was like, I mean, the clues are there.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, if you want to look for them.
It's not rocket science. That really isn't rocket science. If somebody kicked, I mean, it wasn't just that. I mean, Lowton, how does Lowton stay on the pitch? I mean, 3-4 yellow card offences. The one on
the one on Masuaku was crazy. It was ludicrous to not get at least a caution. You could even make an argument for a red card there, can't you?
Yeah. That's the only decision with the Masuaku thing.
Yeah.
Should that be a yellow or a red? No. Oh, that's funny. But
yeah. And then, of course, Dawson got booked a few seconds later for preventing Pope from releasing the ball, which is
Masuaku gets hacked at.
Yes.
And nothing, and then Dawson with a little sneaky, little cheeky tug, and it's all that's a yellow card. Well, sense of priority there, referee. I mean, I know if you impede the goalkeeper in making a clearance, it's a yellow card. So is kicking someone up in the air.
I mean, the point about this, Noam, is that on a very serious, we don't want to sound like we're just moaning about these decisions. I think it's right and just that we should mention this, and I'm sure every club can do this at times. Even Liverpool, I'm sure, find good reason to be slightly disappointed or even slightly disgusted by the odd refereeing decision. But this has cost us points. I mean, it's essentially cost us 2 points today, and let's not forget, what was it, 3 games ago, when we should have been 2-0 up against Brighton. The VAR team looked at the decision. They took 3.5 minutes before deciding that, again, it seemed entirely inconclusive to us. And you still couldn't say with any accuracy or proof that Antonio even touched the ball. It might have brushed his foot. But this is 4 points that West Ham have been denied by VAR. And we could be 4 points,
at that.
Yeah.
Which wasn't obvious. And then make a decision, we don't know, but, well, we spent that long looking at it, we better say no goal. And then something that's as blatant as that.
Yeah.
They
take 10 seconds to look at it, and it's
Oh well, I'll go with you, mate. It's your round next time we meet.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, you've made the point plenty of times in the past, and it's a very valid one. Is that there's no reason why, even if they don't come out after the game and explain the decision, why can't we have a camera inside the VAR room so we can watch what their decision-making process is? Why?
You probably see or hear something you didn't want to, saying,
well, that's what it can be.
Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating, but until somebody mainstream media, somebody from the Times who's got, they've got decent reporters. I mean, the Insight team. I mean, I guess they've got bigger fish to fry than professional football. But
no, surely not.
But somebody who'd actually sort of spend some time and proper investigations. I mean, it's just dreadful.
It was. Anyway, should we move on? Let's talk about something else because I feel people might be getting a bit bored of us complaining about refereeing decisions. Even though they are very valid points.
I think we're long past that event horizon.
Yes,
Graham.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
Let's talk about our man of the match. I mean, again, this is probably a foregone conclusion as well. But who's your top man for the Hammers out there today?
Only one player. I mean, best player on the park, probably the best player either playing football or sitting and watching on the telly within 100 miles of Burnley.
Yeah.
Declan Rice was simply outstanding, and those storming runs. I mean, he was brilliant defensively. You mentioned earlier on, it cropped up all over the pitch.
Yep.
And I mean, it's been the clearest one for a long while. And no question. I'm sure you're going to go. Pinky would definitely agree with that as well. Catch County.
Well, it's only logical and reasonable to say Rice because he was clearly the best player. But I also want to give a special mention to someone who's also been much maligned in the past, and I thought he did a really good job today. I thought Arthur Masuaku had a really good game. I thought he played really, and again, Pinky made the point, and it's a very valid one again, that we just weren't tested defensively. And I think you also made the point that, there'll be tougher tests to come for Arthur, assuming he's back in the team again against Arsenal beyond, unless Cresswell, whose injury must be some concern now because we thought he was going to be back against Chelsea, and this is 3 games he's missed now. But I thought he did well today, and really made some inroads. Had a really good chance in the 11th minute. It's just wide, but a couple of times we saw him surge into the box. Nice little 1-2 on one occasion, and I thought he played well. So at the very least, I think an honourable mention to Arthur for his performance, and it's certainly no embarrassment coming second to Declan Rice today.
Yeah, I'm going to say after that performance, it's like one of those long distance runners where the guys from Kenya or Ethiopia have been running it, and they're so fast, streets ahead, and that they've got their tracksuit on, they're waiting on the podium for their medal by the time whoever finishes second gets round. But he had a decent game when he wasn't getting kicked into touch. But
yes. Anyone else that you enjoyed watching today?
Those were the two. I mean, Declan, just a performance like that just gets you purring.
Yeah.
And
all right. If any of you on the live stream disagree, let us know. But it's a clear winner for Noam and I. Anyway, I suspect Pinky would have been with us on that. Just going back to the game overall, Noam, Chris Dalby has made a fair point, I think, on the live chat. He says that regardless of VAR and relying on decisions by the video assistant referees to make the correct decisions, we really should be seeing these teams off anyway. And you've got to say that's a fair point too, isn't it?
To a certain degree, but
I mean, we didn't really create much. We saw, was it 3 shots on target?
Yeah. We didn't really create enough, but having said that, where we did create, we were robbed by VAR. The whole point is that if you're going to have VAR, you've got to use it properly. It's not there to cover your mates up. You've got to make the correct decision. And if somebody was actually sitting in there watching that on a screen, able to watch it time and time again. I mean, we only saw it 2 or 3 times, but if you're sitting there watching that time again, and you say that's not a penalty, I question either your honesty or your competence to actually doing that job.
Or your eyesight. Yeah, it's unfathomable, isn't it? And this is a frustrating thing. We'll never find out why they didn't give it. We'll never know.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe on Match of the Day they'll come out with some statement about, we couldn't find a conclusive angle. and BBC will laugh and they say, "Oh yeah, there was one. Yeah, we found one in 2 seconds."
Yeah.
But yeah, but we're getting back on the territory we said we were going to move away from. So
I did say that, didn't I? Thank you for nudging me in the right direction again.
Yeah. So
right.
yeah, Chris, we should be seeing those teams off, and there is an underlying thing. I mean, at that point we were talking by way of VAR, but you're not getting any arguments from here. We really, Pinky said we lacked the guile, and we did play it into their hands, and that's saying we should be seeing these teams off. And I'm not saying these teams in a sort of disparaging, oh, look at them down there type thing. I'm saying these teams that are getting players behind the ball, these teams that play in that certain style. And if they're not going to come out at us, then, which is, they're, as I say, horrible to watch, but they're entitled to do that, then we've got to find ways and means of breaking them down. And today we got stuck in a bit of a rut where the pointers were there as to how to do it, run at them, push the ball past them. And we didn't do that nearly enough, Declan accepted.
Yeah, though I dare say Liverpool and Chelsea fans might have been uttering the same words after getting beaten by West Ham, who played a similar kind of style, but much more efficiently.
But we were countering quickly on the break. I mean, you know, I said Chelsea. I said the goal that won it was fortunate, but the victory wasn't. We had other chances on the break and we were quick and incisive, and that was, it worked. So.
Yeah. No, it's a fair point. Fair point.
So one final point on refereeing, and it's more of a humorous one than anything else. Did anybody else detect the heavy amounts of irony in Steve Gerrard complaining about refereeing decisions at Anfield? That made me laugh no end. We were dealt with a bit harshly there. Yeah.
I'll have to watch that one.
Welcome to the party, Gerrard. 20 years late, maybe. All those guys you got away with, but yeah.
I didn't see that. I'll watch it and have a quiet chat to myself.
I was reading
the
paper interview.
All right. Okay.
There were basically, Liverpool were diving left, right, and centre in the box, and then when there was something that looked a bit more like a penalty up the other end, it wasn't given. It was debatable, perhaps, but the fact that Gerrard is complaining about refereeing decisions at Anfield.
Or anywhere, to be fair.
Welcome to the party. Yeah. Welcome to the party.
Let's move on. You've been keeping an eye on the KUMB.com forum this afternoon. I've got the Burnley forum. So if you want to take West Ham first and I'll take Burnley after, let's pick the bones out of what was said and see what the views of each club's fans are. KUMB.com forum match thread first, no, please, if you will.
Right. Let's have a look at Believer then, who's written a sort of mini essay here. Not the end of the world. It's clear we need something to click up front. Is that a striker and/or Lingard? I'll leave that to the manager. However, we could get top six again, and that is steady progress. Although we've had a chance to make us a hard chase for the usual suspects, and we've not taken them. Brighton was a disappointment, as was Wolves, and it's those games that others will win, probably with the odd helpful penalty. And it's a shame that we don't have the squad to do likewise. People are slaughtering Antonio, but he must be shot. And I think Believer means he must be shot as in exhausted rather than should be taken out with a firearm and
put up against the wall, as it were.
Because the next line is he's hardly had a breather and all the pressure on him is on him, especially in games like today. Now, if we can get the forwards we need, we'll maintain our early form. But Arsenal is a must not lose this week. Minimum 4 points from them and Norwich. Glass half full at the minute, and I think that's the sensible way to look at this. It's excuse me, disappointing, but hey, we didn't lose, and 2 years ago we'd have been sort of saying, well, good point against Burnley. They're always tough place to come.
Yes, so, that's a very valid point as well.
Let's have a look. Hammerman 11, just a quote from him there that says, our bench didn't offer much attacking wise. Vlasic and Yarmolenko offer little, Fornals maybe, but what we need is a striker, and as we all know, will we get him in January? Some people saying the game was tailor-made for Yarmolenko to come on. I think Yarmolenko's got to earn the right to come on, and when he had a nearly a full match on Thursday night. That wasn't. I didn't see the attitude. I didn't see the desire. Even if he wants to go, I've taken it out of that sphere. I've left jobs in the past where I've had a notice period, and pretty much after every one, people have come up to me and said, "Well, you've been going for a few weeks, but we know it's appreciated. You do still put in the effort for the last few months or whatever." And you don't get that with Yarmo. Yarmolenko's thinking, he's clearly got his people working on a departure. So okay, I'm fine. I mean, that's annoying, not annoying, but if that's the case, then fair enough. But put everything into the game. Don't just waltz through it like you did on Thursday night.
Yeah, that was really disappointing, wasn't it? Very, very disappointing. Yeah. Any more for us there before we?
Lots of comments on the penalty. It's our man of the match is eggs and nuts. Our man of the match, Declan. There's Pope. Frustrating, but we all know playing a Sean Dyche Burnley is never going to be pretty. So I'll begrudgingly take a draw. Yep. Antonio didn't have the best of games, and it's wrong to single him out just because of the result. Hindsight is lovely, but maybe Antonio could have been taken off instead of Ben Rama, and we played with a false 9. Mm-hmm. Penalty, maybe it wasn't, but after this weekend, it would be obviously depends on what team is on display. So, yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Not surprisingly, Burnley are pretty happy with the outcome of this afternoon's game. The Weller Nut 70 says, he's not particularly happy. Actually, we'll stop with someone who's not happy, because the Weller Nut says that 1 shot on target in 3 games. Entertaining stuff. I smell a bit of sarcasm or irony there, but not particularly happy. But Burnley Milk says, Pope very good today with Ben Mee. A point is good. We have to take that and move on. FC Burnley says, big point, beat Watford in our next game. It will be a good week. Massive game for Burnley in their next one. Jurek says, a point against a top 4 team has to be a decent result. We still don't look like winning. Having said that, I love you, Brady. Definitely not a West Ham fan, you would think. Says, I didn't think that was too bad. Decent point, and we played a bit at times. Could have scored at the end with Jay or Vids. The enclosure, continuing the theme, not a disaster, that he says. And Milltown 1882 says, if it wasn't for Pope, that would have been 4 or 5-0. Luck covers up a dire performance. Taffy on the wing, few. A great point against a very good team. And finally, Saffron says, it's a great point for Burnley, but we need a big upgrade. What's the championship for us next season? Will they survive this season, though?
I think they're going to depend on being just better than the bottom 3. At the moment, what we got? What bottom 3 at the moment? It's Newcastle, Norwich, and
Burnley. Yeah,
Burnley. Yeah, so it's still there.
So you've got Norwich and Newcastle 10 points, Burnley 11 because of the point today, and then Watford 13, Southampton 16.
Yeah, I mean that Watford game's a big one. I think if Watford beat Watford, I mean aren't very good, but at least they have some sort of attacking intent about them. And I think Burnley might be in a bit of trouble this year, because it's all very well, but getting your 11 men behind the ball, but it's they've got to start winning, and one game up to nearly just before Christmas. So that's, even if you're drawing a few, it's not staying up form, is it?
Not at all. I mean, they've that's a huge game, isn't it, at Turf Moor this Wednesday night against those two, the Clarets and the Hornets. Burnley, of course, have been in the Premier League for this is the 5th season in succession in the Premier League. They were there in 2014-15, but were relegated immediately back to the Championship before coming up straight away after winning the old second division, as us old timers like to call it, or just the second division, actually, not the old one. But it does look like they're struggling a bit, doesn't it? And who's your 3 to go down, just out of interest? Would you go with who's there at the moment? You think Newcastle are unlikely to recover? I mean, it's a big defeat for them today. Lots of enthusiasm with Eddie Howe coming in, but absolutely hammered at the King Power this afternoon by Leicester.
You see, they've got a problem because expectations are raised because all this money's come in, and but ideally you'd have wanted that sometime in the closed season, so they could actually start, start building right. You've got this position where, okay, they've got all the money there, but there's nowhere to spend it for another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And of course, all the while, if you're losing games and looking less and less likely to stay up, then you get to January the 1st, and you're a decent player somewhere in Europe, and your agent rings up, hello, I've got you a move to the Premier League, and the guy goes, oh, who is it? Hoping it's one of the big, well, even us maybe, hoping it's us, and they said, well, it's Newcastle. Hello. I mean, it's it really they're going to try and find it difficult to attract players. Now, I can't quite. I mean, you and Pinky were taking a bit of delight in the fact they might go down a bit earlier on, and I mean, I've got personal reasons for not wanting them to go down. I've got some very, very good friends who support them, and I've always, as you know, my best mate who passed away earlier on this year was a big Newcastle fan. So I've got a kind of a soft spot for them. I don't want to. That doesn't mean I want them to do well. But I kind of want them to finish fourth from the bottom, just so we can have a good couple of weekends next year, and and that sort of thing. And it's always funny meeting up with that lot before a game, because it's kind of it's the reverse of the normal banter you get with the opposition, where we turn up and I'll say something like, oh, you're on for 3 points today, and they said, no, you are, and it's always been like that. So I've got a bit of a soft spot from personal reasons, not really footballing reasons.
Yeah.
But I really do think that they need an influx of players as much as we do. I mean, not many, but we do need players in certain positions. They've got the problem. Fine and wonderful city it is, and lovely countryside, and it's a nice area. I like the place, but you're a decent European footballer. Your first thoughts, if you're not going to sign for Manchester City, is, well, London's a good city, isn't it? That's a place to be.
Where it's all happening.
It's not Newcastle, and so they're always going to have that problem anyway, with the geographical thing.
I think that's a little. Yeah, sorry, I think that's a little bit of a moot point these days, though, because with the ease of travel, and we're talking about the huge finances involved, the players can still live in London and go and stay in Newcastle for a few days, do some training, come back for the weekend if they're not playing a game. It's not, what I'm saying is, it's not beyond the realms of possibility for players to live in the south and still commute there, to Newcastle. Helicopters,
I think like Newcastle's stretching it a bit, though, isn't it? I mean, there you go. But I think the bottom three. Having said that, I'd really like Burnley to go down, because, and as I say, I know they've every right to play in whatever way they want like, and all that. But God, it's not football, is it?
It's a long bloody way as well. Well, for you lot, it is. It's not so far for me these days, but it's a long...
The other thing with Burnley is it's not the distance so much as it's the actual fact that it's kind of off the main lines, if you like. So, I mean, under different circumstances, and I had family commitments that I had to sort out today, which meant I was late. But under different circumstances, if you go there by train, it's fine. You get a nice, comfy train to Preston, and then you change there, and you get something that takes about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Something that's basically modelled. It was an old bus before they converted it into a train. I think they've got rid of a lot of those now. But and it's uncomfortable. It's cold. It takes forever. That sort of. I mean, I'm fortunate when I go there. Is that an ex-girlfriend of mine lives just up the road in Nelson, and thankfully we're on good speaking terms. So. When we play up there, as soon as full time's over, we meet up in a car park. She drives me to Preston, so I just get the fast train.
I wonder where that was going for a moment there.
Yeah, behave.
I've heard about those car parks.
What car parks are them, Grader?
I mean, but you think you think Newcastle will go?
I
Norwich,
think if
Burnley,
I'm three in the
Newcastle.
moment, will go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean that
Norwich,
game.
Norwich have got
Sorry.
no backbone or spine really. I mean,
No, I think they're gone.
They're just too weak. Newcastle are suffering from a team cobbled together by Bruce, who's not a very good manager anyway.
Yeah.
And basically it's whatever he could get, and they don't seem to be a cohesive unit.
Yeah.
Howe's in there, and he's got to try and do the best with what he's got and whatever he can get in January. And I don't think it's going to be. And Burnley, I just want to go down because I just hate watching them.
Well, I mean,
I'm not keen on Watford particularly, but
yeah, at least it's a local one. At least it's not far to go to. I get the feeling that Newcastle will be hoping for a Burnley result this week because, of course, if Watford go to Burnley and win, that would put them 6 points clear of Newcastle. And I guess any hopes that they had of anyone half decent coming in during January will have disappeared if they're 6 points adrift of the safety buffer of safety, come January. But anyway, we shall watch that one with interest. At the other end of the table, is it a 3-horse race already?
Probably, yeah. And as we've seen, it's going to be less a contest of football, and it's who can get the most penalties out of PGMOL. So that as we saw yesterday, I mean, it's all going that way. So, never mind them. Let's look at Wednesday night. So I've got some interesting things to say about that.
Yeah, you've read my mind, as we always do. Summing up with our look ahead to
as opposed to all the other boring crap will be coming out this afternoon.
Has everyone switched off yet? There's still a few lingering on. Bless you all. Bless your hearts. Arsenal, Wednesday, another London derby. What do you reckon?
Well, on the face of it, you think, well, Arsenal, they're beginning to sort of come up a bit. But I watched their match with interest on Match of the Day last night, and to say 3-0 flattered them is something of a major understatement. Fair to say, Arsenal's best player was Ramsdale yesterday. I think he made save after save after save, and I think really the difference between Arsenal and Southampton yesterday was the keepers. I mean, Southampton had just pulled in Caballero on a sort of emergency deal. He was a free agent.
Yeah.
And I was surprised when they said he was 40 because he played like a 50-year-old. And it was 3-0 was very flattering, and I saw a lot to be encouraged by.
Right.
In that, not the result, obviously. Your team you're playing next wins 3-0, but Southampton gave them a torrid time. Now Southampton ain't very good. We are. So I'd say that I'm looking forward to this, and I think we can get I think we can get a result out of this on Wednesday night.
Do you mean a winner or just a draw?
I think we get a win. Yeah.
Okay. Been a while, hasn't it, since we went over there and took 3 points home?
We've done it though.
Yeah, we have.
First team to do it. First.
Indeed, we were. Indeed, we were. Of course, I guess it's given added importance that game because if Arsenal win that, they go above West Ham for the first time this season.
So I think there's the fact that I don't think Arsenal as good as that result suggests. Secondly, they ain't going to be sort of getting everyone behind the ball and just basically kicking lumps out of anything that moves. So it's more set up for us, and again, it's a little bit like we said after around the Chelsea game. You get beat by Wolves, you draw against Brighton, then Chelsea come up and you win.
Yeah.
We do things the wrong way round sometimes, and I'm a lot more confident.
Okay. All right, good stuff. Question from the forum, from the live chat. Sam K asks, let's throw this one in now. Do you think it's time for Antonio to be dropped and for Bowen to play as the central striker? What do you reckon on that?
Thinking back to today, it might have been something to consider because Antonio was clearly getting no change.
Yeah.
against Arsenal, no, I don't think I would against Arsenal.
Okay.
I think the time to be doing that is if we've got other options.
Well, would today be a good idea to try it? Do you think?
It would certainly have been something different in the last 20 minutes. But Antonio was, was really. I mean, I've seen there are a few people suggesting it was a mistake to take off Ben Rama. I don't quite agree with that because
no,
I just they're saying we look live here with Ben Rama on. Well, yeah, up until the point that he got the ball and then made a wrong decision. It was to say that Vlasic shouldn't have made the right decision in those situations. So, it's an interesting tactic. And I mean, we did it earlier on, didn't we? With when Antonio was suspended for his losing his rag against Southampton. So,
that's right.
But I'm not sure Arsenal are the team to play against.
Okay, there's your answer, Sam. Maybe, maybe not this week, but perhaps it's something worth looking at going forward. Let us know if you agree or disagree on the live chat. We are going to wrap up now anyway. So if you're going to do that, you've got about 5 minutes to do it. But, we've spoken about Arsenal, that impending fixture, tough game for West Ham. As we said, we don't frequently come away from there with the points. But I get the feeling that although that game probably won't define our season, the 3 or 4 after that may just do so. After Arsenal, forgetting the Tottenham game, because it's a cup game, but looking at the 4 league games after that, at home to Norwich, at home to Southampton, away to Watford, and away to Crystal Palace. So I'm thinking that anything less than 8 points wouldn't be good enough in the position we're in. Would you concur, or do you think that's been a little bit harsh?
That's fair to say. Those are 4 really winnable games. I don't think the defences of those 4 teams are as particularly well drilled as perhaps Burnley's are.
Yeah.
You get the impression that Burnley training sessions are, if they have a 3-hour training session, it's 2 hours 55 minutes of defence against defence, and then a bit of shooting practice for the strikers a bit later on. But I mean, those defences are again they're not exactly Palace maybe they're at home sort of thing, but not Norwich are trying to make themselves difficult to beat. That's their first step. Going on to win games is the next step. But I saw a chunk of their Man United game last night, and with Norwich, I think it's just a case of that. The new manager's obviously getting things a little bit more organised, but they haven't got the belief yet.
Yeah.
Even though they've had a couple of, a win and a couple of draws and all that.
Yeah,
but
they went 4 games unbeaten, didn't they?
A
while ago.
Yeah. But even though that's when you look at a team, you can see the sort of arrogance, the confidence going through it. And even though we didn't break them down today, it was, we had that swagger about us. And it wasn't a game today where, we may have been bereft of ideas, but it worked for want of trying sort of thing in a most. Whereas sometimes you see us sort of, amble through a 0-0 in the past and think, oh, 0-0. Oh, I mean, we're sitting there angry and annoyed and disappointed in that, mainly because of the domination of the play, what we had. So I don't think that those 4 teams will cause us the same problems, even though they might set up to try and do that. I don't think they've got the players to do that. So,
What do you reckon points-wise then from those 4 fixtures?
Well, we've got 3 from Norwich. What's next?
After Norwich, we've got Southampton at home on Boxing Day.
3 from that.
And then we go to Watford 2 days later.
I think we get 3 from that.
And then lastly, it's a trip to Palace.
Probably a point from that.
Okay. So that's you're going for 10 then?
Yeah.
I think that's right. 3, 3, 3, and 1.
Just
about worked that one out. It's been a long day, but all right, 10 points. I think, I think we'd all be happy with that, wouldn't we? 10 points, and it would certainly put us back in contention. I can tell you, actually, we were wondering about Aaron Cresswell's availability. David Moyes has just said in his post-match press conference that he expects Cresswell to return for the Arsenal game and that he trained fully earlier today. So that's some good news anyway. After what's been a fairly disappointing afternoon for West Ham, Cresswell coming back. Although, as we said, after Messelwalker did a decent job. Out there
he acquitted himself well today, but
yeah, he did, didn't he?
I think we'll need a bit more defensive toughness. That defensive toughness that Cresswell will bring us.
Yeah, and attacking prowess as well, because we missed that, don't we? I mean, he delivers an awful lot of crosses and corners that are spot on as well.
Yeah, corners are disappointing today. So again, we welcome Cresswell back with that.
All right. Well, let's wrap up with a couple of numbers for you. Overall match stats this afternoon: Burnley 40% possession to West Ham 60%. Burnley 9 shots at goal. How many on target? No, have a guess.
What?
Yeah,
I did see the whole game. Remember,
I'm still struggling to recall the effort on target that they had. But anyway, we're told they did have one. I don't recall Fabianski making a save, but anyway, West Ham 16 shots. Conversely, only 3 on target, just not good enough. As Pinky said earlier, against the team struggling and in the bottom 3 of the table. 6 corners to Burnley, 14 to West Ham. Gnome's favourite stat: XG Burnley 0.76 expected goals. West Ham 1.06. So not an awful lot there. And Declan Rice's game by numbers. We like doing these. Declan Rice 70 touches today, 82.7% pass accuracy, 19 passes in the final third, attempted 15 completed, which is pretty damn impressive. To be fair, 10 ball recoveries, 4 take-ons attempted, 3 take-ons completed, and 1-2 fouls. It's a strange way of putting it, but it was fouled twice, I guess would be the better way to put it. But anyway, here's another one for you. Rodney Marsh has taken to Twitter following the Leicester game, actually nothing to do with West Ham, but it's sort of relevant to some degree. Rodney Marsh on Twitter saying this evening, nobody ever got a penalty by staying on their feet.
Well, I'm old enough to have seen him play. My thought is he should know.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew that was coming. It's kind of set you up for that one a bit.
Predictable.
Anyway, that's it. We're going to call it a day there. It has finished. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0 at Turf Moor. The Hammers didn't quite sparkle and shine this weekend. Little reference to where I was last night. It'll mean something to Noam, but absolutely nothing to the rest of you. Should have been awarded a penalty.
Have you come up with 12 reasons why we didn't win?
It's difficult to come up with 12 reasons why anything today, or 12 talking points about today, let alone 12 reasons why we didn't win, let alone the extended version. But we should have had a penalty, shouldn't we? Denied a clear penalty in the 37th minute. Dawson sent tumbling to the ground after a rash challenge by McNeil, who instantly gave that sort of reaction that players give when that's the one. Noam's got it to say the one that players give when they know they've committed an incredibly awful sin on the pitch, but when unpunished.
Love it.
Yes, and ignored by VAR as well. Just unfathomable. But there it is. So in the end, West Ham have to settle for a point. It has finished. Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. Are you going to the game on Wednesday, Noam?
Yes, I am. Yeah, it's
okay.
I'm allowed out and everything, and I think I've got my health back, which is why I didn't go to the Chelsea game because and I haven't got any family commitments on Wednesday, so I shall be there. So touch wood, as long as nothing else goes wrong, as has happened over the last few days. I mean, I should have been at Burnley to mention, but no, there we go.
All right, good stuff. Well, hopefully we can get you on the stream. Maybe 1 or 2 points during the game and certainly after, assuming you have better luck getting a Wi-Fi signal than we do at the London Olympic Stadium. But that's it from us today. It's myself and Noam signing out, and the Pink Palermo, of course, had to chip off a little earlier. But thank you for your company as always. Been good fun. Always say it every week, but we do genuinely love reading your comments and getting you involved in the stream. It's always good to have you alongside us, helping us out and pointing out where we go wrong as well. And also adding a few statistics as well. Always very handy. But final score, Turf Moor, Burnley 0, West Ham United 0. But let's end on a positive note. West Ham United remain 4th in the Premier League. All right, we might be a little bit below the top 3 now, but we're still hanging on in there. Good stuff, eh? Until next time, Come on, you Irons.
Night all.